All right. Welcome to a Harbinger one-shot. We're going to play one that's titled The Sleeper Awakens. So, Neil, Jason, Bragg, you guys, along with Gemma and Ray, the rest of your crew, are in an auxiliary tunnel off of tertiary hub number 4. The main part of the mining construction has the fusion reactor and it has the main tunnels. You take a shuttle over here every shift. You get to work, you're setting up equipment. There's another crew nearby. You are crew NX34. NX33 is nearby. You've been on this job for about 6 hours. Things have been going pretty well. What do you do as you're mining? What are your roles?
Well, Jason is obviously very tech-minded, being a I forget the name already of my class, but yeah, being a tech-oriented character. So he does a lot of looking after the machines, making sure everything's running properly, um, operating machines when everything is working properly. Um, yeah, I think that would be his primary role would be machine operation. Although he's more than happy to take shifts if guys want to switch up. Obviously, repetition can get really really bad when you're doing this kind of a job for a long period of time.
Bragg has to dismount from any kind of like machinery to go and do the fine work. He's been at this some time, and so knows that sometimes like a fine human touch give us the advantage in our operations. And he has like the gear necessary for that, for like any kind of noxious gases, those dark crevices that he has to get to and inspect before like the heavier work can be conducted.
Yeah, I imagine Neil kind of takes a lot more of a kind of supporting role. His abilities as a Mancer kind of give him unique utility. When things need to be lifted, if they're heavy, he can simply use Astra instead of having people expend valuable energy to do it, and so on. So he kind of goes from place to place, helping with the tasks that require kind of a lot more effort than normal, physical exertion than normal, because he can lend support in a different way.
So the three of you are in this auxiliary tunnel. Gemma is doing one of her security sweeps out to the main tunnel, to where the shuttle is. Ray is in the shuttle communicating back with the base. And you get a communique from NX33. NX34, come in.
Reading you NX33. This is Jason with NX34.
NX34, we're gonna do some drilling over here. Expect a little bit of rumble and a little bit of noise, maybe a little bit of heat.
All right, I've got your location pinged here. I will send that out to all of my teammates.
All right, we'll be starting up the laser drill in 7 marks.
Yep, and I'll send that message, I guess, through our whisper links to everyone else just to get ready for a little bit of noise and a little bit of heat.
The drilling begins, same as usual. NX33 is drilling these auxiliary tunnels, and then you come in and put your monitoring equipment on it. And then it's black. You wake up on the ground. The alarms in your helmet are going off. They're telling you that you are injured, that your life signs have fluctuated off the charts. There's haze in the air. Your filtration system seems to be working. You can breathe. The tunnel appears to be collapsed behind you. Who wakes up first?
Oh, I guess I will. So hearing the alarms going off in my head and kind of assessing the situation, realizing that I am breathing, and seeing the collapsed tunnel behind me, I'll immediately do a self-check just to see if all of my limbs are in place and if anything seems to be broken, if I can move properly or not. Take a few deep breaths to try to assess whether or not I've got any broken ribs. How badly hurt am I?
Everyone can roll a hit die and subtract that from your total. You've all taken some minor damage from this collapse. Jason, as you are kind of running through this, you don't have the sophisticated systems that some of the control operators and the higher-ups have. Your suit reads basic life signs. You don't seem to have any broken limbs that you can tell. You are hurting. There's definitely some bruises, but nothing too bad.
Nothing desperate. Okay, then I will easily, I should say carefully get up, moving slowly so as not to like jump up too quick and knock myself unconscious or anything like that. Slowly kind of stand up and look around to find my compatriots and see who's nearby, who's hurt, and who I can help.
Neil is next to you.
I'll move over to him then, and if he's not already waking up, then I will try to wake him up. And I'll also check him too for any broken extremities, etc.
Yeah, I imagine after a shake or two, he would kind of come to, kind of in that fading between state of conscious and unconscious, but being disturbed, kind of sense them back fully into consciousness. And I'll kind of instinctively, similar to the way that you did, kind of like reach up at himself to make sure that he's all there, and then figuring out that he, for the most part, is outside of some bumps and scrapes. We'll just kind of like, what happened? And I'll just kind of like look around, confused, seeing you over him.
Jason, you see Neil's mouth move, but you don't hear him.
Oh, try to check my whisper link, see if it's on, or if it got knocked off, or is it just not working?
Non-functional.
Okay, I'll point at the helmet as I'm looking at him, so he can see me pointing at the ear, and then I'll press my helmet up against his, so that we can get the vibrations at least to be able to hear ourselves somewhat. I'll say the whisper link seemed to be knocked out. That probably sounds more like the whisper link seemed to be knocked out.
Yeah, I imagine for this trick to work, you pretty much have to yell. So it'd probably be even more distorted than that. I'll just kind of like look around, trying and mostly succeeding to hide kind of the instinctive panic that would kind of hit him. But he would push it back for the time being and focus on what's going on. Is everybody else okay? What have you gotten a chance to see so far?
Just the cave is partially collapsed. It must have been a cave-in from 33's mining. I'm looking around now. I think, yeah, I see Brig over there. I'll go check on him now. Do you see the others? Just gotta look around.
I'll try to find him. And then I'll go through again a similar process of trying to bring myself to my feet, but not so quickly as to send myself back down in any way, or helping to try to get an eye out for what's happening.
Brig, you are coming to consciousness, and you can see Jason walking towards you, although he appears to be walking on the ceiling.
So it was spinning inside his helmet, but he'll raise up one hand, like the one that he's not laying on, stretching out amongst the rubble for aid.
Again, I'll point at the kind of ear section on my helmet and give the signal to say that they're not working. and I'll go over to him and check to see if he's got any broken arms or legs. And once I'm comfortable that he doesn't, then I'll press helmet to helmet. Are you all right? Did you see what happened?
I can't remember. I woke up. Remember the call for drill, and then I don't know. I woke up here in this.
It's the same for the rest of us. Must be some kind of an accident. It's probably NX-33's fault, I'm guessing. Something to do with their laser drill. Let's make sure the rest of the team is okay, and then we'll see what we can do about maybe finding their team or digging our way out of here. It looks like we've got a collapsed tunnel.
Braig looks up past him to Govern and just marks 2 of the team so far, and so like presses for his helmet comms and says, "Gemma, Ray."
Silence. Either their comms are non-functional like yours, or
They could be buried, he'll say, and like look around for any fine implements. I'll take over here, he says, kind of designating himself an area to kind of scour over for signs of either of their 2 teammates.
Yeah, I'll start looking around too to try to see if I can find any signs of them around, or maybe where they were.
Ray was back in the main tunnel, as was Gemma. Gemma was
Which is the
completing a
collapse part, right?
sleep. So you are in an auxiliary tunnel, and the area between you and the main has collapsed for the moment.
All right, then I will move over to the collapse section and try to assess and see how hard it's going to be to dig through with what we have.
Yeah, Jason, as you look over your equipment, you'll notice that some of the things are fine. You have a small drill that creates about a 3-foot diameter hole that seems functional, but one of the radiators, the one that messes with your whisperlinks when it's running, seems to have had some sort of an electrical failure. Your best guess as a mechanist is that it exploded after the tunnel collapse, and that's why your whisperlinks aren't working.
Okay, so I will pick up that other drill that is still working, the 3-foot diameter drill, and I'll kind of bring it over and offer it to Braig, who's already starting to try to dig through the rubble, probably with his hands at the moment or with whatever manual equipment he has. I'll give him that drill, and then I'll set about seeing. I guess the first thing I'll try to do is I'll try to look and see if there's anything I can do to repair the whisper links. I think that would be my first priority now, would be to try to restore our communications between us. So I'll start on my own, of course.
Yeah, you can give me a tech roll for that. In the meantime, you're all at least aware of your own hand signals that you've created in the past few years as you've worked down in these mines, because this one piece of equipment does knock out your communication. So you have the ability to say power up, power down, danger, chrysalis, go, stop, all those sorts of basic things that you would need during mining. But more advanced communication is beyond you without your whisperlinks or direct helmet-to-helmet contact.
It also assumes that we're looking at each other at the time we're trying to communicate, so that's why I want to try to get the whisperlinks working if I can. I got a 14.
For a 14, it looks to be beyond your repair, at least for now.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, then I will look to the drill that exploded and see if there's anything I can do for that while the others are doing what they're doing.
Neil, as you are looking at these rocks, trying to see if there's a way to get through to the main tunnel, a little alarm dings, another one inside your helmet. Ding, ding, ding. Warning. Half of atmospheric support used. few moments later, Jason, you and Braig both hear the same ding in your helmets.
Yeah, not knowing whether or not the others, with the equipment kind of not functioning properly for everybody, Neil will still kind of turn to everybody and like signal as best he can. I'm sure we have some sign for like oxygen danger, some sort of crude thing like that to kind of signal that we're running low on time, that we need to figure something out.
Bragg will look to him and then like slap his own helmet twice and like nod the little light that's up on the end of it up and down before turning back to the rubble, searching for Ray or Gemma.
Halfway gives you about
signal an affirmative.
Halfway gives you about 7 hours left. And you would all know that when NX-33 told you they were going to start drilling, you had 12 hours left.
So either we've been unconscious for 5 hours, or our equipment...
Atmosphere could have been tainted by the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. How confined is the area that we're in? Like, does it go like, are we in like a completely enclosed, like small area, or like how much space do we have to work with?
So it's a small tunnel. It's about 50 feet long. That's not collapsed, and it's only about 7 feet high.
But it dead ends at the end.
It does. It dead ends. Mm-hmm.
Okay, right.
There is a shuttle in the main tunnel where Ray is.
All the more reason to try to get this other drill working and to try to get through as quickly as we can.
Yeah, you can give me a tech roll for that.
Oh boy, let's hope I do better this time. That's much better. That'd be a 19.
Yeah, you find the repair easy to make with your arc tool, which was surprisingly and luckily undamaged. You'll get the small drill functional in a matter of minutes, and it should take you just a few minutes to set it up and begin drilling through this collapse.
Right, that's my focus. Keep working on that. I'm not worried about it disrupting our whisper links now anyway, since they're not working, so.
It takes about 20 minutes total before the drill seems to punch through the other side of this collapse. A few rocks come skittering down, falling into the hole made. But you could see through, and you could feasibly all crawl through one at a time.
There's no body parts or viscera or anything in the hole that I've just punched through? I didn't accidentally drill through any of my teammates, did I?
Not that you can see.
Good. Well, it's something that I'd be concerned about, but we had to get through, so. I'll look at the other two and gesture at the hole and gesture at myself, maybe, or gesture at Braig, perhaps, or gesture at Neil and gesture at the hole again.
Yeah, I can make a hand signal that both of you would remember from a technique we've done before, where Govan comes up and uses his ability to like hold or stabilize a region, and I like crawl, like scurry through to like probe at the other end, and like stop at my work for a moment. Probably breathing quite heavily inside the mask now.
Yeah, there would be this just nod of the helmet, as Neil understands. And he would kind of put a hand down over where this space is, and there'd be like this glint of yellow that would come up, as he would use grav shift to kind of take some of the less stable pieces of rock and make sure that they don't move down, while you're crawling through.
You come out the other side, Braig, and you're in the main tunnel, but not like you remember it. If The auxiliary one had collapsed a little. This one collapsed even more. And the area where the shuttle was isn't.
As in, isn't? Is it in collapse? Has stuff collapsed over it?
It has been completely buried, judging by the size of some of these bits of rock and or most likely damaged irreparably.
Fuck. Can I wait for a moment for my helmet to read the atmosphere, like when we were in the other chamber, before I head back?
It's the same in here as it was in there. There's no atmosphere on the asteroid. You have to be inside the shuttle, in one of the tertiary hubs, or on the main base itself for proper atmosphere. Otherwise, you're relying on your suit.
Right. That 7-hour reading was for our suit's atmosphere.
All right. Then I'll crawl back through the area and like nod so that the force field can be suspended and report via the helmet, like shaking his head, and report that the shuttle and its infrastructure were just completely buried by like earth slide. We might be able to dig through it with this, but it will push 7 hours.
What is everyone's passive perception?
Ooh, 16.
Not much. 12.
15.
16.
Yeah. Jason, you can see as you're looking at where the shuttle was, that some of the collapse is looser at the top. You might be able to move some of these rocks and climb over. But to get to the shuttle underneath would take much longer.
Well, I'll kind of signal for a huddle so we can all press our helmets together and say, well, we've got two choices here. We can try to dig out our shuttle, which may not even be functional when we do, or we can press on and try to contact another team.
Would we
What do you
be
guys
aware
think?
of any like emergency sort of like bypass shafts, or is there anything like that that we would be aware of as far as making sure that if something does go wrong, is anything put in place for something like that, or are we kind of shit out of luck?
So in the event of malfunctions, the protocol is to take the shuttle tunnels, which run you out to the tertiary hubs, and to take them back to base on foot. They do have lights in them periodically for such an event, emergency lighting.
Yeah, in the helmet trio that we sort of formed, Neil will yell out, it takes a lot out of me to do, but if we need to while we're digging out the shuttle, it can create a space for us where we can breathe. We want to use our time, and just in case, might be a more valuable way than trying to, and I'll kind of like glance upwards towards the general tunnel and try to climb out into who knows where.
Right, and Reagan may still be in there too.
Even if the shuttle itself isn't running, the tunnel might still, there might be enough there to get through, at least to another area.
How long would that take us approximately, Taylor? Traveling on foot through the tunnel.
Traveling on foot through the shuttle tunnel without obstructions would take you about 5 hours.
Oh, that's pushing it. How long do I estimate, pessimistically, would it take me to dig through to the shuttle, to dig the shuttle out?
With the laser drill and the help of Neil's Astra, maybe another hour.
That's just about enough time. Okay, Helmet Huddle. So what do you think? We'll try to dig out the shuttle. Maybe we can help Ray in there. And then we hoof it on foot through the tunnel back to, to the nearest safety point. I estimate it'd take about 6 hours to do both without any issues.
Sounds like a plan. The best one we got. And he looks around again through the rock, wishing I could find the rest of the team.
Yeah, Neil will just nod in agreement.
Well, Gemma should be there, and I gesture back at the collapsed tunnel that we've partially dug through.
How long have we... Oh, sorry, you go.
I was just gonna say, I hate to say, but if she was supposed to be in there, I'm not sure that there's anything left in there to find.
Yeah, he looks again. Oh, sorry.
One of the mining tools that you have has the ability to detect energy signatures, including life readings.
Oh, well, shit.
Oh, I would have done that then before digging for ages, for sure.
Yeah.
Or if I can't use it, try and employ one of my companions to use it.
There were no life signs within that rubble.
Okay. What about the shuttle, then? Where the shuttle is located? Can we pick up any life signs in there?
You detect a faint energy reading, but it is not consistent with a life sign.
So it's probably the shuttle itself. Well, I still think we should dig it out. We might at least be able to... we might be able to scavenge something useful off of the shuttle, even for that matter. Maybe we could replenish our own oxygen or something a little bit. It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
So we'll start digging with that laser.
So what I'd like to do in the meantime, Neil's going to kind of gather around as you're kind of operating the drill, and we'll kind of beckon Bragg over as well. And I'll kind of put his hands together for a moment, and then like kind of out around, and there's going to be this like green glimmer that'll surround everybody. I'm gonna cast the Masahiro's Refuge spell. So basically, this within this green sphere will have breathable oxygen, so we won't need to use our suit oxygen for while we're in exactly this spot. Like we can't move with it, or else we would do that. But so for the next while, we'll be able to dig without using oxygen. Should buy us another hour, he'll say.
Every minute's going to count, I think, by the time this is done. Sounds good.
Would that mean that we could take our helmets or suits off inside that area and breathe like Astra safe air?
Yes, you can.
It creates breathable air within the sphere, and nothing can enter the sphere
And
that I don't allow.
We'd be able to actually talk to each other for an hour.
Yeah, I think Bragg would give like a when he takes the helmet off, like the smell of like sweat and such from being in there for so long. And he's just like relaxing, putting his hands on his head, on his grey, like dreadlocked hair, looking down like at the realization that the people that they worked with the last 2 years are dead now, whilst still trying to savor the Mance's oxygen.
Neil will take his helmet off with a similar relief, and then once it is, he'll just say openly, now that we can speak, this will last us for some time, but it cannot move. So at least while we're here, he'll kind of gesture with just the slightest bit of relief mixing in with the still concern in his face. We should be all right, but we still shouldn't waste any time.
Jason is just grimly focusing on the task at hand, trying to be as careful as he can with the drill so as to cause as little collateral damage to the shuttle beneath as possible while drilling through. Still holding out hope that we might find Ray alive in there.
The hour feels longer.
I'm convinced that Gemma's gone.
The hour feels longer than it should. You're paying such close attention, making sure You don't go too fast or push it too far. When you can finally begin to see the shuttle, the extent of the damage starts to be very apparent. The window on the front, shatter-resistant glass. It's almost like a transparent aluminum, impossibly strong. Absolutely shattered. If Ray was inside, he probably would have died instantly. Unless he happened to have his helmet on.
Only one way to find out. Picking up any life signs?
Negative.
Yeah, he's gone. What would there be aboard the shuttle that I might be able to salvage that could be useful to us? Would it be possible to, would there be any extra like oxygen tanks or anything of that sort?
Yeah, you can spend another 30 minutes or an hour um, trying to go through into the shuttle. You'll find a refill for your suits for their atmosphere. They're emergency packs, so it's only 3 hours each, but there are 5 of them.
I think trading an hour for 5 3-hour packs is worthwhile. Do you guys agree? Now that I can actually speak within
Yeah, I'd say
an
so.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
All right. Just go steely faced again and start drilling through the shuttle itself. I don't even say anything about Ray. I think they probably already know.
Yeah. I think that's like
Yeah.
that's somber realization is the explanation for the silence.
Yeah, especially with the our own life scanners as well. Seeing no signal come up the further we go, I think there's wouldn't need to be words about it.
Once you've drilled in through the wall of the shuttle, it's difficult to pick through. There are rocks to be moved, to be drilled through to get to where the emergency supplies are. You are able to recover 2 of the 5 emergency atmosphere refills. The other 3 are damaged.
All right, well, we've got 2 anyway. Strap them up. Just carry them along now until somebody needs them. Because who knows who will end up needing it first. And depending on how this goes, well, there might be less than 3 of us anyway by the time it becomes necessary. Anything else?
So
Oh, go
let
ahead.
me ask an important question about these emergency packs. Is the air within it able to be distributed, or is it something that you specifically attach? So like, could we split the 2 between the 3 of us, or would it be an instance of one person's gonna have to figure something out?
Think of it like a scuba tank. It attaches to your equipment. There's not really a way to buddy breathe with a helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the kind of implication would go unsaid between the 3 of them. At least Neil wouldn't be the one to bring it up as we collect the 2 packs between the 3 people.
Any bits of scrap too that have fallen off as I was digging through, I would just kind of collect and stick in my pack or whatever I'd have, just in case I need to make any impromptu repairs along the way. Being a mechanist, I can always find use for bits of scrap metal and such.
Break in with the emergency supplies. You find 2 more small repeater pistols.
He'll take one and like put it in his suit, or attach it to the side of his suit, and like give the other to the closest of his companions. in case any of the filth survived the collapse. I'll say, handing it over.
If Neil happened to be closer, he would just pass it down. He doesn't really need this guns in the same way that the other two do.
I guess serving together here or being enslaved together here a couple of years, he'd know that. So it would be to Dane that he takes the repeater and like hands over. This is all I found.
Yeah, Jason will definitely happily strap that to his hip. He's still. I presume that my my repeater survived the collapse, or is it smashed?
Yours survived.
Okay. All right. Well, we better get moving for that tunnel. Time's wasting.
Yeah, Neil will just kind of scan the shuttle one more time to make sure that nothing was missed. But then when he realizes we have everything,
with the parts here within the shuttle, Taylor, would it make it any easier for me to try to fix our whisperlinks? Like a reduced DC or a bonus die, I don't know, whatever. Or would it just be a waste of time?
You think it would be a waste of time?
Okay, I'm not going to bother then. Yep, let's go.
Everybody roll me perception or investigation. Investigation if you're particularly looking around the shuttle.
Oh, Jesus, no. I rolled poorly.
Brig, you can see part of the shuttle. It's been trying to run on emergency power, as badly damaged as it was, and there are a few systems that have minor operational capabilities. Most of them are totally non-functional. And you notice the communications readout. Not the one in the front of the shuttle, the main array, but a secondary panel towards the back, where you guys are moving to now. It doesn't work anymore. But there's a strange signal. It looks like something frozen on it. You don't recognize it as a communique or a code. That seems completely unfamiliar to you.
Is it like, could I pick it up and take it or capture it somehow to offer it to Jason?
So it's a panel that's affixed to the ship. You could point it out to them, but
Yeah, that's what I'd do then. I'd give out like a "Hey, over here!" like gesturing with my offhand for them to come, and I'd point to the readout. Ever seen that?
yeah, Neil will come right over and look.
Yeah, Jason will take a look too.
no, you've never seen anything like it.
Nothing, no? Okay. It's just some
Could just
strange
be that
symbol,
the
huh?
display's jammed. No. Screen gets busted up in a weird way. Just shows some weird blank image. Neil will kind of shrug, not knowing if that's sufficient as an explanation.
Would I have any way to record it?
Yeah, I will say that all of your helmets are equipped with video recorders that are passively. No, they're not passive. That would take too much energy. You can turn them on.
Yeah. I'll just take a still, basically.
Yeah.
A still image of it. But otherwise, seeing as I don't recognize it and I have no idea what it is, I don't see much point in wasting any more time on it. So I'll take that still image and say, well, let's get moving.
Yeah, Neil will kind of let out a sigh and a groan as he lowers his helmet back on, back into the void.
Now, Brig, as far as like standard operating procedures would go, would you tend to take point, being the more martial of us, or would you prefer that I scout up ahead, being the quieter, sneakier, more perceptive type? I'm good either
I
way.
reckon that depends on our tech at the moment. Like, depends on how good our systems are. Like, if we can scan ahead of us, then obviously you're better because you can optimize machines. But if that's impaired, then maybe Bragg. I've got a pretty good perception, pretty wily old fella, and in his backstory has been on the rocks, as he calls the asteroid slave mines, 13 years. So could make sense if the tech is down, but otherwise, yeah, I think tech would be superior.
Well, I do have, if I deploy a spheroid, I have an ability to use one as a scout, so I can see through it, and
Uh,
it can travel up to 120 feet from me.
that's a pretty handy
Um,
scout. Do your spheroids have the capability to offer us anything like health systems, or I'm assuming healing as well, but like oxygen or repair of suits, anything like that?
Not oxygen. I can deploy a healing spheroid if necessary. Since none of us are too badly hurt, I just haven't bothered with that yet.
Yeah.
Um,
If that's
yeah,
the case, then maybe as a scout could be a good time to bust out a spheroid here when we're going through this dangerous stuff. Because if we have 6 hours to do,
yeah.
like that'll
It
take, and
gives
7 hours.
me. Well, I was gonna say it gives me dark vision, but I have dark vision anyway because I'm voidborn.
Uh huh.
But it also gives me advantage on perception and investigation checks that rely on sight using the
Cool.
scout.
Let's go with that then, hey?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So I won't get too far ahead of them, but a little ways. Maybe let's say 60 feet,
Yeah.
and I'll
Maybe
deploy
we
the
don't go out
spheroid.
of. Maybe we don't go out of like 50-foot side of each other or something, or 50-foot
Yeah,
range of
50
each
foot.
other.
Actually, 50 foot's better.
Do the other two of you have dark vision?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh,
So the tunnels have some emergency lights, but if you're more than about 30 feet away, you're not going to be able to see any hand signals.
Do our suits have any like headlamps built in or anything like that?
They have headlamps, yes.
And so
That'd
at
be
least we'd be
creepy.
able to like see the glow.
See the
Yeah.
beacon, like angelfish for each other.
Yeah. Oh god.
I can't possibly go wrong.
I
but
think
even with the
maybe,
headlamp, so like we'd need to stay within 30 feet. You say for hand signals anyway. Yeah,
yeah, let's say
that
30
makes
from
sense.
each other.
I'll do about 30 feet in front then. But the spheroid I can deploy up to 120 feet further on. So I will do that. I'll use that as a scout spheroid and just say that I have one deployed.
Being creeped out now, Bragg will take the repeater from its holster and have it ready.
Technically, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just wanted to check and see if that means that that's the only. Yeah, it's called a lockbreaker spheroid, so it doesn't have another function like combat or healing or anything of that sort. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yep. So that'll be my approach then.
So you break through the rest of this collapse and the rest of the shuttle into the main tunnel that takes you towards Tertiary Hub 4, or it turns and can take you towards the base. You begin walking in utter silence. Without your whisperlinks, there's nothing. If silence can be deafening, this is. There's no atmosphere. There's only the sound of your own breath running through the atmospheric system.
That's extra creepy.
Jason, you're walking along and you get the little bing, 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 bing from your spheroid. It sees something.
I will see what it sees.
You see a figure curled up in the fetal position back to you on the floor of the tunnel.
I will investigate the figure, try to determine more about it. Visually, of course. Is it wearing a suit? Is it wearing a helmet?
Figure is wearing a suit and helmet. The spheroid circles around, trying to get to the front, and it can just make out a 3-3 on the vest.
Okay, so I will have the spheroid stay in that location. So just in case the figure happens to move for any reason, so I'll know. And I'll gesture to the other guys, basically just to follow me and pick up the pace a little bit to go up and try to catch up with the spheroid to this figure.
Your scanners that can detect life signs work within 30 feet.
Yep. So I need to move at least another 90 feet before I'll be in that range. I will have my my pulse repeater out just in case, because, like I said, sometimes there can be Chryslic threats here. So, yep. Once we're 30 feet from the spheroid and the figure, then I'll try the life sign scanner.
Life signs negative.
Bragg's going to walk up slowly and look down for a moment before taking a knee next to the body and trying to salvage any oxygen or anything from the suit that might be valuable to us.
That's a good idea. And I'll send the spheroid up another 120 feet. So
You can salvage their atmospheric filter. It'll give you, it looks like, 5 hours. The body is Ozzy from NX-33. You recognize him. He's got a scruffy beard, well, what passes for a beard around here anyways. He doesn't seem to have taken damage. He hasn't been shot. You don't see anything wrong with him except a trickle of blood from his ear and his nose.
Trauma for internal bleeding, hemorrhaging. I'll think poor Oz, and I'll drag him aside as reverentially as you can in this situation. And if I'm able with the helmet tech to mark the location as a place for future teams to recover the body, he'll do so and try and move Ozzy away from just being out dead in the rubble.
You pull up the map of the tunnels on your helmet display and set a beacon where you found Ozzy.
OZ, dash A Aussie or OZ or something, bloop, and then it'll shut down, and I'll give a, and then stuff his the gear I've salvaged off him into our suits.
yeah, I'll start moving up again to keep us going. Spheroid 120 feet ahead, and I'll be yeah, I think that's a good system. Just have it to kind of to ping me if it detects something, and then I'll look through its eyes. Otherwise, it's gonna be kind of hard to walk if I'm not looking through my own eyes, right?
Can you close? Have one eye watching and then one eye on display?
It doesn't really say, but I'd imagine that would be kind of. Or have an image overlaid inside my helmet.
That's what I was gonna say. Is you might be able to have an augmented reality, a little webcam corner up in your screen or something.
Well, it says it allows me to see through this spheroid.
Mm-hmm.
Until the start of my next turn, I can perceive through it as long as it's within the 120-foot range. While perceiving through it, I gain a dark vision and advantage on So, I mean, it doesn't say anything about any limited uses or anything of that sort. But yeah, it only really I can only see through it for a turn at a time. So
Jason, you know that mechanists who work for Sept Alzareen and not in the mines have helmets and tech far better than your own. They would absolutely be able to see through their spheroid and still watch what they're doing. But yours is limited. One view only.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I said, just have it kind of ping me if it detects any kind of movement or anything odd, but otherwise I'll be looking through my own eyes most of the time. Occasionally, I suppose I might have to stop, look through it to send it in another direction or something, but
You're moving down this main tunnel. There's a small strip of greenish light on the top of the tunnel about every 50 feet. It doesn't put off much light, but it helps you see where you're going and see that there is a tunnel. It doesn't drop off. It twists a little. Not too sharp. The shuttle's not small. You walk. And you walk. Bing, bing. Bing, bing. Bing.
I'll signal for everybody to stop, and I'll look through the spheroid's perception again, look around.
It's another body, much the same as the first, curled up in the fetal position. The spheroid moves around as directed, and again you can see the NX-33 on the uniform.
I gesture for everybody to follow me. Again, have the spheroid stay in that location, and same procedure as before. Once about 30 feet away, then I'll scan for life signs, which I'm expecting to come back negative, but...
Affirmative.
Affirmative. Oh, it is. There is a life sign. All right, well, then I'll move forward quickly to try and assess the injury on this person. See who it is, for that matter.
Are either of you going with Jason?
Yeah, I'm following 30 foot behind. I guess he's like taking point of lead on this, so I'm waiting for his signals. But I reckon when he rushes and kneels down next to that figure, different to before and what would be, I guess, procedural, I'll break from protocol and like rush up alongside him as well, using my like helmet cam steadying down to give him good vantage here.
Jason, the figure is curled up. You can detect the slightest rise and fall of the chest. So steady, you're certain the person must be asleep or unconscious. But when you roll their shoulders slightly, eyes stare at you blankly. You can see the mouth moving on Blakely, another one of NX-33's crew.
So he's staring at me wide-eyed, and his mouth is moving. That's not a good sign. I will, I guess try to do just any whatever basic first aid I can do within these suits. I don't know if there is anything I really can do with these suits, though, can I?
He doesn't seem injured.
Really? No blood? Nothing?
Nothing.
Wave my hands in front of his face.
Nothing.
Put my helmet up against his helmet. Say,
the sleeper awakes. The sleeper awakes. The mother awakens. The sleeper awakes. The sleeper awakes.
Blakely, calm down.
Awakes.
Calm down,
The
Blakely.
sleeper awakes. The sleeper awakes.
Blakely, this is Dane with NX-34.
The sleeper awakes. The sleeper awakes. The sleeper awakes.
Pull my helmet back. I'll look at Bragg beside me and just kind of shake my head. Put my hand up to my helmet and do the circular motion. Everybody knows to mean he's loopy.
Yeah, it's probably a common thing down here that we've seen happen before.
Yeah, I'd say.
You've never seen something quite like this.
Yeah, true.
We can't leave him here. We're going to have to take him with us.
Okay.
If we get through this and without him, they'll slap us with willful neglect and another 5. And Braig will try and pick the man up over his shoulder, like to carry him.
Yeah, no, I agree. Wouldn't really be able to live with myself if we just left him here anyway, to run out of oxygen and die.
You're picking him up?
Yeah, I will.
Please roll for initiative.
Great.
As you begin to pick up Braig, his eyes suddenly snap to you. And they are no longer blank. They are dark. He becomes violent. I should probably roll initiative for him. Jason, you're watching this happen. You get the first move. You see his eyes shift, and you can feel that something's about to happen.
So I see him kind of moving, lurching towards Braig. I will try to. Oh God, I'm not going to be very good at this. I will try to restrain him. Basically, I'm going to try to grapple him, I guess. So how does that work? Grappling.
Oppose athletics.
Roll athletics, yeah.
Oh God, I suck at that. I have a strength of 8, so athletics. Yeah, -1. Okay, here we go. Oh, but I rolled a 19, so it's an 18 modified.
You are the aggressor, so you will succeed. You are grappling Blakely. How are you grappling him?
So basically, I just kind of grab his arms and try to pin him down to the ground. And I look to Brig with a look in my eyes like, what the fuck do we do now? Might even see my lips move the same if you can read lips.
I'll say into the head comma, like, butt mine down to yours, like, check out his eyes.
Neil, you see that Blakely is grappled. He appears to be screaming, although you can hear nothing. What do you do? And yes, there's no atmosphere in these tunnels at all.
Yeah, Neil will bolt up, covering whatever ground was left between him and the other two, as they had been approaching this man. And he'll kind of stumble up to see this mess of a person with his shifted eyes. And will probably, just as best as he can, try to like put his helmet up towards Jason's while he's holding the person down. What do we do? Do we take him out? Just kind of like frantically deferring.
I've seen the deep sick go fucking mental, man, and take down whole crews. It'll be like jittery through his comms.
Yeah, with
Brig,
that
it's your
he'll
turn. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So basically, for my actual action, unless speaking like that takes an action in
No, go
in
ahead.
this whatever thing, what I'm going to do. Oh god, this is gonna be nasty. If it even works, I have a spell.
It'd probably be nastier if it doesn't.
Yeah, I have a spell here, Grab Shift, that lets me manipulate objects. So what I'd like to do is to unlatch his helmet and float it off with my yellow Astra. There's going to be this like glint of yellow from his hand, and then down towards this person. As the Astra will try to like creep up and pull at the latches, whatever's holding the helmet on.
Do you need to make a roll for that?
Good question.
Assuming it's an object, I can just move the object, and it says I can finally manipulate stuff like lift and move objects, open, close hatches, things like that.
His
If
suit is
if the helmet weighs more than 10 pounds, then I'll
no.
need to use a boost to increase the weight limit. But other than that,
The helmets are about 4 pounds each.
Graph shift. There it is.
So, Neil, you feel the Astros surge. You send it out to this helmet. And it's almost like you can feel it beneath your fingers, the latch. You undo it. You twist. And you remove Blakely's helmet. His eyes grow and explode. His face turns white, then blue. And he ceases struggling.
Oh, fuck. Then I let go of him and get the hell up off of him. And try not to puke inside my own helmet.
yeah,
Yeah,
Neil will
Bragg will
kind of
take a few steps back.
scrunch his own eyes closed and kind of pull back in a flinch. Bring his hands up defensively as if to block some imaginary force that's coming from him.
Bragg will wait a few moments and then move slowly towards Govern and put a hand on his shoulder and give a couple of nods on the light of his helmet, and then turn back to the corpse and see if there's anything to salvage from him. If we twisted his helmet off, is there any way that I could check or through the stills or any live footage from his display before we encountered him?
You would have to hook his suit up, like you would have to connect into his computer system, which would require disconnecting from yours.
Where on the suit does it need to plug in? Could we just take the helmet, for instance, and if we found a panel, try and access it that way?
Yeah, you can do that.
I'll say then to the guys, it might be worth taking the helmet to see what footage, what he saw that drove him like this. He was no spring. I wouldn't say spring chicken, but you know what I mean.
No, it's a good idea. I mean, that's if it was even recording at the time, but it's worth a shot. I'll bring the helmet. Kind of try to jam it into my pack, which is now getting to be a bit bulky.
Same as before, I'll drag his body off to the side and mark it on my own overlay for future purposes.
Was there any oxygen? Was there an oxygen tank with any reserve left in it, or
There is.
how long has this one got?
It has about half hour left than the one you found on.
So 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm keeping a tally.
Nice. Bragg's old and superstitious and a miner, so superstitious. So he's gonna with some like different colored dust or dirt from nearby or blood, even if need be, mark like an X or something on that canister. Like, and if it comes to it, we'll use that last. I don't trust it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
In case there's something wrong with the oxygen.
Stranger things have
I'm
happened, man.
sure I can kind of put a little welding or welding etching on it with my arc tool or something.
Cool, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the last desperate measure tank.
Mhm.
All right. Fuck. So that's Oz and Blakely gone. Not to mention Reagan and Gemma. It's not looking too good. I guess we carry on as before. Feeling quite a bit more depressed though now. A little bit more somber.
Bing, 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 bing. Imminent threat.
Oh shit.
Roll initiative.
Okay.
The spheroid was right next to you.
Yep,
It
I
didn't have
know.
time to detect anything.
Nope.
As you turn and look, you see a creature which fills most of this main tunnel. It's got to be 15 feet high, maybe 10 wide. It has a large bulbous head, many eyes, and multi-jointed limbs. It's something like a cross between a squid and a spider. You've all seen them before. It's a chrysalid.
It's a big one. Big, ugly chrysalid. Great. Okay, yeah. I rolled poorly.
So the chrysalid, lucky for you guys, rolled, although actually that one might hit. Ooh, that one will hit. So it comes up and it's going to slice out with a leg blade at you, Jason. You jumped up and moved away from Blakely's body, and you turn just too late. You're going to take 11 piercing damage.
Ooh, ouch, that hurts. I have an armor class of 15, just so you know, for future reference too, but 11 points more. Okay. Got it.
Okay, that was its surprise round. Neil, you're up.
So I know that and I'm sure that I would know in character as well, that these things like eat Astra, but they can still be hurt by Astra abilities, correct? All right, so yeah, Neil would immediately kind of. This is much more in the sort of danger that we're accustomed to. So I think his reaction would be a lot faster and steadier as we kind of switch into this mode. He'll hold a hand out, like the red glow would kind of come from his hand through the suit, and then there would just be this, I guess, in this no atmosphere, just soundless, strange, eerie sensation of this like solid red beam that would just rush through, and it needs to make a dex save. That's a plasma beam strike.
Your plasma beam strike catches it unawares.
Ooh. All right. Yeah, so that's gonna be 9 force damage as this piercing column of red Astra strikes out, like burning and slicing into its body.
You hit it in one of its tentacles, searing through part of it. It hangs slightly, almost like it would come off if a stronger hit. But still it comes. Brig.
Bragg swears, reeling back, pulls the repeater, and will unleash twice, not before ramping up the Astra limit on his weapon. Using his energy weapons mod bonus action, a weapon gains d6 for 1 hour. So I imagine as the chrysalid bursts forward, the repeater weapon glows into life as it's raised up, and then a 14 and a 9 in total.
The chrysalid's tentacles and legs that remind you eerily of arachnids are moving too quick, and in spite of the size of its bulbous body, the shot just grazes it. No damage.
Then I'm going to move back as far away from it as I can with 30 foot of movement.
Yeah, you're now 40 feet from the creature.
And that's it for me.
Okay. First of all, I feel obligated to point out to you that I have been wrong about the spheroid use. I've been doing it wrong. It's only supposed to last for 1 minute. I just saw a little bit of print here that says that spheroids only last for 1 minute. So sorry about that. Now, regarding action economy in 5e, there's actions, there's bonus actions. Is move a separate action, or does that count as a regular
You
action?
get a move, an action, a bonus action.
Okay, good. So for my action, I deploy another spheroid, so that's going to raise my astrofade by 1 again. This time I am deploying a healing spheroid or medical spheroid. What's it called? It's called a healing spheroid, right? And I'm going to deploy it on myself because I'm fucking hurt really bad. So there's a little blue, much like the one in my character image, the one that he's holding there, spheroid deploys and starts to kind of orbit almost like a halo up above my head. Then for my bonus action, I am going to use my arc tool to deploy a hard light shield. So again, that's another astrofade point. So now I've reached my astrofade max already at 3. So a green light, like a green shield, shimmers around me. And it increases my armor class by 2, but does not require any hand to wield. I can dismiss it as a free action. If I fall unconscious, it vanishes instantly. And I cannot hold an actual shield and use this at the same time, but I'm not holding a shield. So that'll increase my armor class by 2. And it looks like that one doesn't have any duration on it. So it just lasts till I either go unconscious or I dismiss it. And then I'm going to use my movement action to also get as far away from the... I can only move 25 feet, though, because I'm Voidborn and I'm not very quick.
So if you move out of its immediate range, it will provoke an attack of opportunity.
That's fine, because then maybe hopefully next round it'll attack somebody else. I'll take the chance. My armor class is now 17.
That is a 15 on the die.
Okay, ouch.
So it is going to lash out with one of its tentacles. You will take 7 damage, but this tentacle is going to wrap around you, and you are now grappled.
Okay, and my spheroid can take an action of its own once per turn. So my healing spheroid is going to heal me for its maximum of 20 points. And then it will dissipate because it'll be totally used up. So I was down to 9, so it'll take me back up to 29 hit points. Yep. And the medical spheroid then, so it just dispels this blue healing astra around me. And then it kind of basically just goes kind of black and falls to the ground for me to recover later. Hopefully when I'm not being grappled by a big nasty thing. Help!
You scream, but no one hears you.
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
It is now the Chryslic's turn.
Yeah, that sucks too.
So the Chryslic is holding you in its tentacle, and you feel the rush of Astra pouring into your veins. Increase your astrofade by 4. And make a DC 13 con save.
Okay, that's a big limit break too on my astrofade, just so you know. I think I made the con save. What's my con? Yep, I exactly made 13. Whew.
That's good. You can feel the Astra pulsing in your veins, but there's no pain yet. It hasn't begun to feed on you.
It's kind of like that light jolt of an electrical fence with a really low voltage that you can just kind of get that uncomfortable vibration. Okay, what happens with the astrofade overdose?
How much over your limit are you?
My limit is 3. I'm now at 7, so I'm over by 4.
All right, so there are tables. So astrofade exceeded by 4, you roll a d8.
Okay.
On your turn when you take an action, though, right? Because this was
Nope.
forced.
It's right
right?
when it
Okay.
happens. Yeah.
Right when it happens, yeah.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, Jeff.
I rolled a 5.
The strain of Astra makes you sluggish. Gain 1 level of exhaustion.
Okay. I'll put that in some notes here somewhere on my character sheet.
And those astrofade tables are at the towards the end of the playtest.
Yep. Cool.
I can find them. Hey, there they are. Okay, Neil, it is your turn.
Yeah, Neil is going to see Jason being grabbed by this thing and seeing the process begun. He's seen enough of this happen that he knows what'll happen if nobody intervenes. He's going to crank up the dial a little bit further. There's going to be another glint of red, this time stronger than the last. It almost seems to kind of flow off of his body before kind of blasting off in another beam. So we'll need a deck save again. But this time I'm going to boost it.
That is a natural 20 on the deck save for this Chrysalis.
All right, so it'll take half. What? That will be a lot. All right, so it'll take already halved 11 force damage. As another column, this time stronger, more vivid. We'll blast into it. If it matters mechanically, trying to like sever the tentacle. Otherwise, just narratively, just this beam of plasma will strike out, trying to cut through.
The tentacle shakes, and you feel the shockwave run through you, Jason, as it's holding you. But you're still grappled. Brig. Unless you have anything else, Neil.
No, that'll be it for me. I'll just kind of stay hovered in this kind of space, about 30 feet from it that I am.
Yeah, Bray will just move a few steps aside to get like a best line of sight on the thing, and then let fire with his repeater for a 16 and a 15 to hit.
The 16 will hit, the 15 will not.
Okay. So 10 plus 6, 16. Sorry, 3, 13. Yeah, 13. I'm not sure what sort of damage it would be, necrotic maybe, or energy. And that's it. And I'll take another movement back, so I'm 60 foot away from the thing if I can be. And then that's it for me.
Jason, you can feel this thing holding you. Although you don't hear the shots being fired, you can feel it pulsing as the energy slams into it. But the other members of your crew are only backing farther away.
Yeah. Do I... Do I still have my repeater? Or have I dropped it in this spray?
You have it.
Okay.
So you could fire, or you can attempt to escape the grapple.
That requires an athletics roll, right?
Or acrobatics.
Or acrobatics. Athletics or acrobatics.
How does auto fire work? Or whatever, it's a multi-fire? What's it called? Burst fire.
Yeah, the burst fire.
It's like disadvantage, right, to get multiple shots or something? I didn't see it in the playtest document, so it must be just a 5e thing. But
no, it's here somewhere.
is it? I couldn't find it when I was looking for it today. Jeff's the rules guy, right? Jeff, how's it work? Burst fire.
Dang
damn. I don't think he knows.
A weapon with burst fire can make a normal attack targeting a single creature, or it can spray bullets in a 10-foot cube with normal range.
Oh, okay.
So, and your burst fire uses 10 shots.
Yeah, no, that's lame. Screw that. Okay, I'll try to acrobatics my way out of this grapple. Then that's probably not going to be good enough. That's a 10.
It is not enough. The tentacle squeezes you as it feels you trying to escape.
Okay, so that would be my action.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have anything else I can do as a bonus action, though. I'm way over on. Yeah, no, that's all I can do.
Okay. Make a con save.
Come on. 17.
That's very good. You are still going to have your Astrofade increased by 4.
Okay,
Again.
so now I'm over by 8.
Mm-hmm.
And, because, yeah, I'm up to 11 over
I have
3
the table
now.
up, so it's a D12.
D12 now? Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
12.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's not good. Astra racks your body, withering your fortitude. Roll a d20 and reduce your current and total hit points by the result. If
Oof.
this reduces you to 0, make death saves as normal.
14. So reduce my current and maximum? What do you mean by current and total?
Yeah, so your max HP will also decrease until you take a long rest by the total.
Oh, okay. So instead of 33, my max is now 19 because I just lost 14. Okay. Ouch. Nobody can hear me scream except me. And I hear myself screaming a lot.
Yeah, Neil, you can see Jason writhing. From where you stand, you can see the pain on his face.
I'm probably just flowing with Astra too. Like
Mm-hmm.
my
He's
Astra
glowing
fate is
slightly.
it's almost quadruple my max now.
What do you do, Neil?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot with what I have that can bring him back from the brink. I'm gonna hope that we can kill this thing. I'm going to to let loose another blast. Another wave of red will pulse, flashing, illuminating the tunnel for the briefest of moments, as it'll need to make another dex.
$15 on the die.
Which is
That will be 16 total.
alright.
What's your
That'll pass.
DC?
I
Pass?
think it's
Okay.
15. Yeah. All right, so it'll still take 12 force damage then. That's already have. As yet another blast of Astra will pierce through, incinerating at it.
That's 14.
12.
You're hurting it. But it's not letting go of its meal.
Is that over your limit now too?
Just by 1, but yeah, I was just pulling the table up.
Ugh.
6. 5. Yeah, so it's like the blast of Astra like comes off of him. Like the direction of it will like be at the wrong angle as it's like released. But it'll still hit the creature, but it'll send him down to his knees. I'll be prone, but I'll use my movement that I haven't used yet to stand back up.
Brig, things are getting out of hand. What do you do?
I'm going to rush forward 30 feet, but not adjacent to Garvin. I'll stand like 10 feet from him, so if the creature rushes us and engages one in melee, the other can get around behind it. And then I'm going to let off 2 more shots.
16 is the magic number.
Okay. Oh, fuck off. I rolled a natural 1 and a natural 1. I rolled 2 natural 1s in a row. So I imagine, like, because I Astra bursted up earlier, it kind of just gives like a maybe like the fine tuning of it was disrupted by whatever affected our helmets, and it's just like useless. So I'll drop the pistol for now and haul the drill bit off my back, preparing to engage it in melee. And that's it for my useless turn.
Yeah, your drill, the big drill, the big enough to make a 3-foot tunnel, is a combination of mechanical and Astra. So it digs and the Astra sort of melts away the rock. It'll do some damage if you use it.
But knowing that, I think I'll turn the settings to not emit any Astra to melt, so that I'm not like nourishing the things while I hummingbird stone drill into it. But I can't do that till next turn.
Jason.
Yeah, all I can do is try to break the grapple again, unfortunately. I mean, I could try to shoot it too. But no, I'm going to try to break free. Goddamn, 10 again. I have a +4. I'm rolling 6 on the die.
It's not enough. You try the same tactic you did last time.
Yeah, I'm just feeling I'm exhausted, and like I've been fucking just racked with this Astra. I'm just feeling weak now, and I feel my everything's going dark. I kind of feel my life flashing before my eyes. I'm thinking about my family back on the merchant or the migrant fleet.
It's the Chrysalick's turn. Roll a con save.
Yeah, okay. 16.
Those
I
con
can make
saves are
con
critical.
saves.
That's good. Might be better if you made your escape checks.
Yeah, then I wouldn't have to make the con save, right? But oh well.
The Chrysalick is continuing to pump Astra into you.
Yeah, how much this time?
4.
4 more. All right, so I am now, Jeff, at 12 over. Or 5 times my limit, if that makes a difference.
Yeah, it's just a flat number over, so 12. Okay, so you're at the max
Yeah,
table
that's
now.
a D20, right?
20. Yeah.
9.
Oh, lower is better.
You and every creature within 30 feet of you must make a Constitution saving throw. The DC equal to your spell DC. The creatures take 4d8 force damage on a failed save, or half as much on a success.
4d8 or half of success. That includes the Chrysalick, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All four.
Let's
Four
figure
of
out
us.
what my spell save DC is.
What sort of
Let's see.
save is it? What sort of save is it that we
Because
roll?
I actually have a spell and I
Constitution.
use it with charisma. So that's what, 8 plus proficiency modifier plus my charisma modifier, right?
Yep.
So it should be 13 as the DC.
The Chrysalick
I got a
natural
14.
1.
And I rolled an 11. I failed as well.
And did you say
I passed.
4d8?
4d8, yeah.
Okay.
Ouch.
Did everybody pass?
Yep.
Are they within 30 feet of me?
They were right at the edge. They were 30 feet away.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I passed. Me and Nico passed. The other two failed.
Okay.
Oh, you failed, Jason?
Yeah, I failed. Yeah.
You're going to take 19 damage.
Okay.
The others of you are going to take 9.
There's no negatives, right? I just go to 0 and start making death saves?
You go to 0 and you'll start making death saves the next time you take damage. However, the burst of Astra is enough. And the tentacle goes limp and releases you as the chrysalid falls to the tunnel floor.
Oh, and I fall to the tunnel floor too, taking damage?
Yes. You weren't that high up.
Okay. I just collapse in a heap next
Yeah,
to my two dead spheroids.
Yeah,
Neil.
the moment that the so the Chrysalisk is dead too as well. The moment that it's that I see that it falls alongside, I'll look down, one glance over back to Bragg, and then one back down, and I'll immediately sprint over towards Jason on the ground and try to stabilize him. Getting help from Bragg if I can, kind of motioning for his assistance.
Yeah, if you hold, I'll move over and aid you so that you can roll with advantage.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
well, I guess we've worked with each other for a long time,
Mhm.
so we probably know. Is Bragg have any sort of proficiency, either naturally or trained with medicine?
No, he's good at like anatomy of rocks, but not people.
All right, perfect, because I'm
Um,
rolling flat zeros on wisdom, so but it's with advantage.
Oh, is it a wisdom check? I thought it was an
Yes,
intelligence. Like, oh,
it should be realistically, but it's not.
okay. In that case, well, I can try if you want. I'm pretty. Maybe I've had a lot of experience with like people being wounded in mines because I've worked here so long.
Yeah, if I imagine that, yeah, he would kind of look to you, knowing that you are the more experienced of us, so you can roll with that advantage because my wisdom is shit.
Maybe his old heart's pumping too fast from the Chrysalis fight, but I rolled a 2 and a 3 with advantage, which will give me a total of 5, which is useless. I'll say he's pretty fucked up, man, through the helmet.
Jason, death save.
okay. That's fail.
Neil.
I'll help again. Just
Oh,
leaning in. We have to do something. We can't let him die.
he's going to look to where like the Astra injections were worst, and take out his depleted Astra repeater magazine and try and like drain Astra into that. Like use the device to, like drain some of the Astra poison out of him. That's for the fluff of my 19 and 1, so a 21 this time to stabilize.
The Astra is pouring out of him. He's seeping with it. You use your weapon, the charger on it, and it seems to pull the Astra away from him. And his breathing starts back up.
Once I'm confident that he looks alive and stable inside his suit, I'll give like the nod and the thumbs up to Govern, and kind of sit back to him, probably resting against the filthy carapace of that chrysalis we just blasted, and just screams like a silent fuck into his helmet.
Did any of you have medkits or packs in your equipment?
I got a basic kit, I think it's called. What's it
I
called?
guess if we
Basic
if
gear
we
kit.
have all the same equipment that we normally start with, that does include God, I don't remember what the item's called, but there's a mender, I think it's called. In those, so if we have those, if we have our full pack, then we would have some of
Yes.
those.
Yeah. Mender.
You know, I had that basic
As
gear
an
kit on my
action,
character sheet, but I forgot
as
to.
an action, a creature can expend a mender charge on a target, including itself. You immediately roll one of your hit die and regain that number plus your con mod. Menders have 3 charges each.
Oh, okay, that's pretty handy.
Yeah, I think Neil
I'll take.
will reach in, yeah, pull out a mender, kneel down before injecting it in, hoping that that's enough. So you can roll a hit die then.
One hit die,
Jason,
yeah.
plus your
Yeah,
con mod.
and you could use all 3 charges on him if you wanted.
I'll use one for now. He has his own.
Yeah. Okay, that gives me 4 hit points back, so I am conscious again. Well, you don't hear that, because. But You see it.
Jason, you can hear your heart pounding in your ears, louder than it's ever been before. Everything hurts. You can feel the Astra like nothing you've ever felt before. It burns in your veins, in your skin, in your eyes, in your head, in your hands. In the very marrow of your bones, you feel it. It will take a long rest to recover.
Right. A long rest to get over the pain. Can I move or no? Am I
So you can
paralyzed?
move, but to reset your astrofade will require
Yeah.
a long rest.
Yeah, that I just said. Okay. I grab my own mender out of my basic gear kit and I just start pumping charges into myself.
You can use up to 3 charges per single mender.
Ooh, I got 2 for the first one,
Oh
2 for the second one,
no!
and 5 for the third one. So 5 plus 2 plus 2, 9. All right.
Plus your con mod.
Yeah, that is. I did include my con mod.
Okay.
Yep. So okay, I'm back up to 13 hit points anyway, and my mender is gone. I just cast the empty case aside, and I roll over, groaning, which nobody can hear, and I scoop up my 2 blank spheroids and stick them in my pockets.
You guys would have picked up the menders off of Ozzy and Blakely's bodies. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, that's what I salvaged them.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were killed instantly, presumably they'd have their menders. So we should have a couple extra. Maybe that means that would give us 6 extra, right? So how about we just take 2 each to our gear?
Well, the 3 charges to one device.
One mender, yeah.
It's like a healing potion that you can take 3 drinks out of.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And also remember that those do use hit die, so you don't have unlimited drinks of them.
Oh, I see. You got a long rest. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so seeing Jason return to consciousness and kind of able to take stock of himself a little bit more, we'll just kind of lean back into the others and connect their helmets. Just, we got to get out of here. We can't deal with anything more like that. We'll be dead in here.
Yeah, sure. Who's carrying me?
You've got another of those spheroids, right, to deploy?
Well, no, I've got 2 of them. I just scoop them up. I can redeploy them, but it costs Astra to do so. And I'm not going to be doing that for a while.
Okay.
And I was mistaken anyway, too, earlier. The scout things, any spheroid only lasts for 1 minute or until it's destroyed.
Yeah,
So,
I was just thinking of like if you could get a healing spheroid, but it sounds like we'll have to wait till your
I
Astra
could, but I'll have to roll on the Astra Fate.
Roll a d20 table, yeah, which is scary.
And can you get back up to full hit points?
Besides, I'm at 13 hit points. My full hit points is only 19 now anyway until I get a long rest. So from the shock I took earlier.
Do you have any mender left? Because I've got 1 charge left on mine if you want to take it, just in case we reach any more trouble.
No, I don't have any left.
Or you can use the last charge of mine then, because I got onto full with 2.
All right, that'll be the 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be the 5th hit die that I've used for menders. That's it.
So you've used
7 more hit points. That brings me back up
out.
to 7 more hit points. 19 is my max at the moment anyway, so I'm at 19.
Yeah, better to die with an empty mender.
True. Oh, all right. Let's go.
You can't
Neil will like hold his hand down to pick you up.
Oh, thanks. I think you should take point this time, Brig.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Warning.
What's that?
2 hours of atmosphere remaining.
Brig will relax. He would have spun around on a pivot with the drill ready to accept another Chrysalis charging in. And then he just kind of relaxes a little and then takes point and pushes on with like renewed vigor in his step.
Oh, it's okay. We're just running out of oxygen.
I hear it's peaceful, he says. Oh, yeah, we can't hear that.
Yeah, that's okay. You can talk to yourself, though. I've been doing it, too.
Probably does. Probably does talk to himself. You only got 3 spans left on this rock. Get your shit together. He tells himself inside the helmet.
You keep walking. You come across another body. This one, it's been harvested, for lack of a better word, by one of the chrysalids. It's desiccated. Every bit of moisture sucked out of it. Every bit of astra. You can't recognize who it was. There's an NX-33 on the uniform.
Any sign of their helmet?
The helmet on this one is gone. Well, you can find it, but it's cracked. It seems to have been lost somewhere in the struggle, or perhaps afterwards when the chrysalic was feeding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same as before. I'll salvage any menders or atmosphere filters that might be about, and if there are none, kind of just watch sentry over the area while my other companions move about doing their things.
There's no sign of another chrysalic here. Either it's moved on or was the one you already encountered.
Using the headlamp, can I look around on the ground for tracks to try and find tracks to confirm if we need to be aware of a possible chrysalisk waiting to ambush from this scene, or if it was indeed the one that we killed?
It's solid rock. There are no tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, imagine Jason is just moving real gingerly now. Everything hurts. He doesn't even want to open his eyes too wide. Like, he's probably not being very perceptive at all. Just kind of following along, walking in between um, Neil and Braga, I imagine.
Yeah,
You
even though we came from a one-way tunnel that was blocked off, Neil would still find moments to like look behind and make sure that somehow, some way, nothing had like come in from behind, as they kind of form this two-man escort party for Jason in the middle, um, with Breg.
The three of you move cautiously, but you can't move slowly. Your maps tell you that you're getting close. There's going to be an elevator shaft that the shuttles tend to go up to where the shuttle bay is. And as you're walking along through this tunnel, you see it. But there's something else. There's a door down here on this lower level. You've been here 3 years. You know this place like the back of your hand. There's no door there. There shouldn't be. And that's where we're going to take a break, and we'll come back in just a few minutes.
Cool.
Nice.
Very good. Okay. I'm back as well, Jeff.
Welcome back.
Boy, that chrysalid messed me up.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Ooh.
Yeah, pumping forfeit is like so incredibly much. And given what some of those higher astro table effects are, like even though what we got sucked, we got off easy
Yeah,
compared
it
to
could have
what
been
it
a
could have
lot
been.
worse, right? Yeah, I remember. It's been a long time since I played Harbinger, but yeah, I do remember they can get really nasty, especially when you hit that D20 chart.
Yeah, like the 20 on the D20 chart is literally you just like explode.
Mm.
You explode, dying immediately, and everybody else still takes astro damage from your explosion.
It's brutal.
I mean, that's a way to go. In one of the games that I ran, one of the people like literally their arm like disintegrated. They lost a limb from from their Astra.
God, it's been too long. I feel bad that I've neglected Harbinger for so long. I've just been so busy doing other stuff, but it does give me the itch to run more Harbinger again too.
Yes.
Just don't have time for all the games. All the games.
Right.
That is my life. I
Yeah,
cannot sign up for any more games.
I'm a fan of what they're doing with Harbinger. A lot of this stuff is really cool. They have a lot of really good ideas. It's like
Thing I
that
would
that
say
and
though,
Iscloft are like the only 5e stuff that I even really play anymore. It's like either Iscloft or Harbinger.
they're the only ones that I'm interested in really as well at the moment. But that said, I would probably try out your Second World sometime, Taylor. That looked pretty interesting.
No, I'd definitely have you. That's a very different feel from Iskloftum Harbinger.
Well, yeah. But that's good, because if it was the same feel, then it wouldn't be very special.
A lot less brutal and sci-fi horror and a lot more mythical and mystical.
Yeah. Ah, 2 hours of oxygen left last time we checked. It's probably even less now. And I need a long rest. That sucks.
Well, you guys can
Yeah.
see the bottom level of the base, the bottom level that you didn't know was there.
And a door that
You
wasn't there.
you you know there's like
Oh, that you've
an
never
actual 0% chance that we're going in that door. I hope you know that, Taylor. I hope you're not planning on it.
contingency plans, Jeff. Always have contingency plans.
We are definitely going up that elevator shaft and
Speak
towards
for
ground
yourself.
level.
I think I have to roll a wisdom save to resist the temptation.
Yeah, so
Hey, just you can
What if
go explore it.
what
Just
if
give
what if
me
the
your
elevator
spare oxygen tanks
what
and
if the elevator's broken?
I'll climb it.
oh yeah, the shaft is definitely broken because maybe elevator shaft is the wrong word. The shuttles start up high and then they drop down and then go out along the paths. So you've never seen this door because you've never been out and at this level. And you didn't know it was there and it's not on any screen.
That's not what you said before the bio break. You said there wasn't a door there before. That's what you said.
Not that you've ever seen.
See, you're adding addendums now, though.
I'm the
Words are.
champ. I get to do all the things I want.
I know you do, but words are
True.
important. When you said there was never a door there before, that resonated inside our paranoid player character minds.
What?
Is that
You're
like
very paranoid.
is that from like the shifting of Earth or the explosion that this door is revealed, or is it like it has manifested, imprinted onto nondescript stone that we would be familiar with?
So what I was trying to explain, and apparently explained very, very, very badly, is you've never been on this level. You've never seen a door, and there's not one on any of the schematics.
And is
Right.
it the
Like, I
same
guess
construct as the rest of the mine?
in the shuttle path, so I guess we would never walk the shuttle path, unless
True.
Right.
something like this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Only
guess
an
we were just
emergency,
always
yeah.
in the shuttle, so we didn't see it here, and it's not on the map.
Yeah.
Well, like a mining team gets wiped out like every 2 or 3 months down here. It looks
These
like there's
things
no
are good.
survivors from NX-33, so I think we got a good chance.
The odds are in your favor. They only lose one.
Exactly, you see? Yeah. All right. Oh, you're leading the way, so I think, Braga. I don't even
I'll
think,
see the
honestly,
door.
Jason hasn't even noticed the door. He's like looking at the ground.
I'll say this isn't on the schematics. It's most likely like a, I don't know what the word would be, but like a fire exit or utility from this central passage here. But it might have some shit in it. What do you think? I can bust it in with the drill, or we can
Oh,
push on.
are we helmet huddling again?
I'd imagine so.
Presumably.
Oh.
If I'm speaking to someone else, I'll huddle so that I can do so.
Oh, my head
Rather
hurts.
than ask my
That
reflection in the
hurts.
screen.
But if it's an emergency exit, why wouldn't it be on the map? It seems like something you'd want clearly marked for use. This isn't.
Good point. Could be Alzareen. Could be like the guards, or Sept, confidential, or not specified areas. You're right. We could get slapped with more spans on this rock if we get caught. If like the report details that we went into this place. I'll push on.
There's another way up.
How much time do we have left on our oxygen?
Less than 2 hours.
And these
Should we-
ones, we have a couple spare tanks though, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we have 4 here.
4.
Hmm.
3, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, 3 plus a
Yeah.
Don't ask me when I'm
Three
dying of
plus,
oxygen sickness.
in
3 and a wild
emergency
card.
only.
All right, well, we might as well push on until these oxygen tanks give out, and then we'll swap out the other ones. I'll follow you wherever you go, Bray Guy.
Do you guys go look at the door? Or are you just staring at it from a distance?
Well, we have to go by it anyway, don't we? It's
20
kind
foot
of in our
with a
path.
headlamp.
Yeah.
If it's in our path, I would definitely examine it.
It has a small tinted window, and it has a keypad.
What about the construction of it? Can I derive anything from the door itself? Like, does it look to be in line with the rest of the facility, or
It does. It looks like it was built at the same time.
does it look to be like a secure door? Like a
Very.
Well, I mean, there's a keypad there. I can't resist that. I'll pull
Give
out
me a
my
check.
arc tool and see if I can see if I can hack the keypad. Is that tech you said?
Tech.
Or arc tool, I guess it's either one.
Yes.
I think it's the same roll anyway. Oh, crap. 10. 5 plus 5.
You see the lights blinking on it.
It's a stubborn door. We'll try again.
Come on, man. Hub's this way, he'll say, like nervously.
23?
DC 20. You try a second time, ignoring Bragg for the moment and his desire to leave. And there's a shink, which none of you can hear, but you can see. The door begins to slide open for you.
I kind of excitedly gesture, "Hey, look over here." I point at my arc tool and I point at the keypad and thumbs up.
And I'll be
You'll
like, after
hand
you.
signal in the direction of the elevator shaft and like shake his head at you.
What's inside the door? I have to look. I have to know. I'm curious.
So immediately inside the door is a decompression area. And then there are clear glass windows, and it looks like it goes into a laboratory of some kind.
Oh, are there any? Is there any readings or panels? Can I tell if it's pressurized inside the laboratory? Is there oxygen and air in there?
You would have to go into this decompression chamber to investigate.
I will gladly do so. I know you want me to anyway. I will ignore the the warnings of my companions, and I will walk into the decompression chamber.
You can get into the decompression chamber. You see the controls seem functional. You ought to be able to get into the lab without any problem. Looking through the window, it's in disarray. There are chairs overturned from what little you can see through a second door and down a hallway. There's a few lab coats on the floor. There's a data pad that looks broken. Something's not right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm muted. Is there oxygen there, or can I not tell?
There is, as best you can tell.
And I look. Are they still outside, or did they come into the decompression chamber?
Outside.
Outside, looking at each other.
I push the button.
The door behind you closes, leaving Brig and Neil outside in the main tunnel. There's a whoosh, and the sensors on your suit give you green lights, and then the doors to the lab open.
I will slowly take off my helmet.
Air. And what's more, sound.
Walk into the lab. Press the button to close the decompression chamber behind me, so that if they want to come through, they can. Maybe it's automatic. I don't know, but I'll definitely walk into the lab, flip up one of the overturned chairs, and sit down in it, and just take a few nice, big, deep breaths of air. I'm like in full lounge mode, laid back, kind of arms splayed out to the side, just oh my god, just fucking so happy to be able to breathe and hear sound.
The desk you're sitting at is right outside this decompression area. It's probably used to control that entry. Doesn't look like it belongs to any particular person. And if you were to walk down a hallway, you could go into the rest of the laboratory. Brig, Neil, what are you doing?
I put my helmet. Oh, you go.
Yeah. I'm saying Neil will just kind of like shake his head, and I imagine we both turn to each other like at the same time, and like lock helmets together.
He's going like Aussie, man. He's got rock sickness. Who the fuck knows what Alzareen are doing in there? And if there's footage of him breaking in, that'll be another 10 minimum. And whenever he says like numbers like that, he's always talking about years they'll add onto your sentence.
Yeah, if they don't do something worse than add a couple years. No. If whatever's in there did whatever to Ozzy back there, and it's going to do the same thing to him, or best case scenario, he gets out and Alzareen has their way with him. Neither of those sound like good options to me.
Yeah, fuck that. I got 3 till I'm clear. And he looks up again on the overlay to see how many minutes of air or atmosphere is left in the suit. And he's like, I got another hour or so before we'll have to switch tanks.
I got some
Try and
bad news
push
for you
onto the
guys,
hub.
though. I have all the spare tanks.
Hey, all of them. I thought we just collected
Oh, I
them.
don't. Did we? Maybe. I thought
I
I had them
certainly
all
did
in
because I
pack.
was salvaging them.
Okay, fair
Hmm.
enough. I don't have all of them then.
Yeah, I assume we would have at least one each, and if you want to have multiple, then the one you engraved.
So I
Yeah,
have one
you can
plus
have
the extra one.
X marks the tank over there with you as your second one.
I'm gonna bang on the. Oh, he wouldn't be able to hear it anyway. But I'm just
Nah.
gonna gesture to get his attention and like movement, and then give the symbol for like we're gonna push on. What are you doing? Are you coming? Are you staying?
Neil, you hear movement and a wide-eyed
Neil
scientist, or I'm
or
sorry,
me?
not
Sorry.
Jason. Jason, you hear movement, and a
Okay.
wide-eyed scientist comes shuffling down the hallway. Doesn't seem to see you at all.
Shuffling. I pull up this light pistol I got, or whatever the pistol I got earlier, the pulsar. Hey, who are you?
The mother's awoken. The sleeper awakes.
Who's the sleeper?
The mother's awoken. The sleeper awakes.
That's what Oz said earlier, or not Oz, but Blakely said earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Shoot the son of a bitch.
Yeah, absolutely. He just kind of like falls down, and there's a brief twitch. The sleeper awakes.
Put my helmet back on.
So do I see this through the screen? Like, do I see him kill this scientist?
I think it had the tinted window, didn't it?
Yeah, you can't see
Okay, so I
anything
can't see
really
through it.
clearly yet.
I shoot him. I grab my helmet. I go back into the decompression chamber.
Do you check his body for anything? You've been checking all the bodies.
Let me see. Yeah, but I'm astra sick now. Yeah, I do. Check him real quick. See if he's got a data pad or something.
He does.
He does. Grab it. Take it with me. Go into the decompression chamber. Pressing the button to get it to start activating. Put my helmet on. I can check this data pad out when I'm on the other side, or at least once this door is safely sealed behind me.
He also had a key card.
Yeah, sure. Grab that too. Anything that looked important.
Mhm.
Key card, data pad, ID.
You exit the decompression chamber, and the door slides closed behind you. And again, there's deafening silence.
Are you guys still out there? Roughly? Or have you gone?
You'd probably see us a little ways up, like 60, 90 feet away from the door, having pushed on,
Uh-huh.
and
I'll
probably
flash
stop seeing the
my
light.
headlamp at you kind of a bit to get your attention.
Geez,
And
that'd
then
be
wave.
scary.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just trying to think how I get your attention without making sound.
Yeah, and we'll like stagger out and make our way to like rendezvous.
What's on this data pad? Can I try to activate it? See if I can see what's on it.
Yeah, with the key card identification that you've picked up from this scientist,
It just locks in.
it locks in.
Cool.
The data pad is partially wiped. It looks like he was trying to erase something.
Ooh. Can I try to do a recovery?
You can roll tech. Or computers, I'm not sure which it is.
It's tech in this setting. So I rolled 11 plus 5 is 16.
That's enough for you to recover part of an email.
Okay,
What's functionally an email.
sure.
It's from the chief scientist to the research team. The part that you've been able to gather and reconstruct is a little garbled, but here's what you can make out. Hesitant conclusions. Already encountered nests. 5 workers. Setbacks. Indications are positive. Chrysalic behavior. Explanation phenomena. This will be discoveries of the century.
I'll show it to them when they get over. And I'll show them the ID card that I pulled off of the scientist, which has probably got some of his blood on it.
What did you do, man?
The date on that email, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
was about when the project started. It's about 3 years ago.
Oh. There's some kind of laboratory in there. Some raving lunatic scientist. He was raving just like Blakely was. I shot him. And I took this. I got the hell out of there. There was more, but I didn't want to stick around and explore.
Good.
Whatever's
Let's
going
just get
on
the
here,
fuck-
I want nothing to do with it. We got to get out.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Why'd you guys let me go in there in the first place? Come on, let's get out of here.
The elevator shaft that the shuttles ascend is bare almost entirely. They run on a magnetic field. There are no handholds. There's no cables.
Is it possible for us to use this without, like, killing ourselves?
It might be.
Without a shuttle? It might be, yeah.
You'd have to try and
Devise something.
devise something, and it would be a skill challenge to try and climb it.
Well, what do you guys think? We take our chances with it? Or we can always go back into the labs, see if there's another way out through there.
We can hoist our way up and then use the drill to put like a divot into the side to like hold ourselves and then rest and then climb up again. And if we can scrounge some stuff to hook us up to these points, then even if we fall, we only fall like one level of our own climbing and then can go do so again.
The drill is large enough that it would be precarious to try and use it while balancing.
Okay.
What if somebody was able to
Might be
use
possible.
Astra to hold it instead?
That's true.
Ooh.
I kind of almost puke as soon as he says Astra.
I can stick it to the wall. If we can get it at the right angle, we should be able to use it to drill.
Bing, 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 bing. 1 hour of atmosphere remaining.
Look, if that guy in the lab was the same as Blakely, who knows what else is in there and what else has happened. It's not worth it. I think this is our best bet.
All right, what do you think, Braga?
Yeah. Closer up we get, the closer we get to the hub and further away from the shit.
An hour should give me just about enough time to get something worked up here for climbing purposes. Then we can change out our atmosphere tanks and start making the ascent. So I will start mulling about trying to piece together bits and bobs to make essentially like some kind of a harness ascent that we can use. for climbing, including if I can find proper cables and stuff like even if I have to tear stuff out of the damn walls or whatever that we can use for safety purposes in case somebody does fall.
Yeah, so there's nothing down here. There are no cables, there's no scrap, it's just the tunnel for the shuttle.
Right. And I don't suppose the scraps that I collected from earlier when we were drilling through the shuttle are enough.
Let's find out.
Plus, what else do we have in these basic gear kits? Let's see.
The scraps from earlier were not enough.
Right.
So, but what is in your basic gear kit? You might have cables, I'm not sure.
Basic gear kit has.
It does have so satchel, bedroll, whisperlink, breather, rope. Yeah, rope.
Yeah, I have
It has
50-foot heap
50
of rope as
yeah.
well.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, 50-foot
And
rope,
3
glow
glow
rods.
rods as well. 3 glow rods.
Yeah.
So we could use the rope.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm going to say that you guys actually all have grappling hooks. I think that would be reasonable to assume for miners.
Right, we did have basic mining equipment.
Mhm.
Even if we didn't have an exact grappling hook, we might have something we can fashion one out of.
Exactly.
Or shit, I've got a warhammer. I might be able to fashion something out of that too.
You guys can take some time. It will take about an hour to fix this up, and you'll need to switch out your air containers.
Yep, that's fine.
We'll do it. Yep.
Are we gonna make any kind of a roll for fashioning this or no?
You've got tech. What else do you have?
That would apply to this, I think.
Maybe arc tool. Roll your arc tool. That does a lot.
What does arc tool go off of? Does it go off of any dexterity maybe or something? Or?
I believe it's intelligence, but I would not swear to that.
I think it depends. I think you could also use Dex for it, kind of similar to like how Thieves' Tools would work in 5e.
Okay.
Like that.
All right, here we go. Oh, 21.
Yes. You are fairly confident that the rig you've built will support the three of you as you try and climb this elevator shaft.
All right, guys, I'm telling you, this is some of my finest work. Let's change out these atmosphere tanks one at a time.
His finest work, he says, while suffering from some sort of astro sickness.
Yeah. While I'm holding the puke back. All right. Let's change out these atmosphere tanks and let's give it a go, shall we?
Let's do it.
Time's wasting. So I got a 3-hour tank. One of you has a 3-hour tank, and the other one has a 5-hour tank. Now, who's got good athletics and wants to lead the climb?
I will.
Good. Not me.
Yeah, I can climb up first and then use that warhammer of yours to drive in a spike or something as to like a foothold as we make our way up, and then we can get it steady so that Jeff can bring up the Astra platform for the drill.
So this is going to be a skill challenge for you guys to get up this. You will need 5 successes before 3 failures. And you cannot succeed on the same skill twice among the group. You can attempt a failed skill, though.
Right.
Right, I'll do my athletics first then. 16 on the die, I believe. I have a +7.
Yeah.
No, I have a +6. So yeah, 22 athletics to
More
begin.
than enough. You make it look easy.
Cool.
Yeah. And there's going to be this like glint of Astra as Neil attempts to kind of keep everything stable in line with his yellow Astra specialty. I'd like to use just the Astra skill in general to best be able to manage my my abilities during the skill challenge.
Absolutely.
I pre-rolled, and it's a 19 on the die, which is going to be a 24, so plenty.
What skill do I have that would be useful?
Any skill you can rationalize to me.
Well, we're climbing, we're using these tools, and we're using the mining laser as well. So can I use a tech roll?
I think tech is a little more computers. You could use your arc tool roll, though.
Right. Okay, arc tool. Well, actually, I'm better at arc tool even, so fair enough. That's a 24. Ha! Ha! See?
30 grueling minutes later, you estimate you are about 2/3 of the way to the level of the shuttle bay.
It's gonna be a long fall from here now, if we fuck up.
I'm going to use a survival check to determine like the stronger points in the rock surfaces that we come across to put our footholds in and to work from. If that's cool.
Go ahead.
At 12 on the dice, so 17 all up.
Pass.
Over here, and then he'll like leap across and put in another pylon and continue working their way up. I guess looking down, it would look like 3 torches swirling around in the dark.
Yeah. Oh man, just these like 2 blank headlamps in the oblivion, slowly rising up towards you. So scary. This one might be a stretch, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Could I use history, as in like kind of my knowledge of how these places are, like the maps and how they're constructed, to know if there might be like a certain point that's gonna be more easy to drill into than otherwise?
I don't know.
If not, I can do like investigation instead. I'm not.
Yeah. Do
That
investigation. I
about
think
it.
that's a little better, unless you happen to have background in construction.
No, I don't. Yeah, for investigation though, that's still got a 19 on the die again, so it's going to be 21.
You understand how this works. All 3 of you working together, make the slow, painful, in your case, Jason, climb until at last you reach the shuttle bay doors.
Just existence is painful at this point for Jason. So I painfully look at the shuttle bay doors. How do we open them? Is there a keypad or?
We got that drill that can drill
I say
through.
we drill through it. If we
Sure, we
have
could
to,
go through it. Yeah. I just figured if there's a keypad, it would be easier.
Yeah. If we can open it, then we'll open it. But if we have to bash it with a drill, we'll definitely do that.
Oh, I think we lost our illustrious game master.
And then we rush on after we've drilled down the door. No, just kidding.
And then we level up to level 10 right now.
Yeah, Taylor froze up.
Yep. Done. Uh-oh.
I'm going to turn off that weird ambient loop for a bit, stressing me out.
Oh, you know what?
Right?
Mine stopped a while ago. I guess I didn't have it on loop. That's why.
I get used to it, then it shifts like a semitone, and it's a different disturbing note. And then I go, "Oh, that's right." Ugh. But now with the silence, it's too unnerving, so I turned it off. My Astrofade is 1, so I got it straight away from doing that thing to my repeater rifle, my repeater pistol.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean if I get any more, I have to roll on a table?
Yep.
Yeah. Once it goes above your limit, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
my Astrofade limit is 3, and I'm at 15, so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, good point, actually.
Mine's at 5. Yeah, it's Because the treader, you can basically only up your fade by 1 per use of the ability. Like you have a very low
I want to
outside of
use
things
my
pumping up your fade artificially, like what happened to Ian. Like there's not really any way for yours to go crazy. And
yeah.
because the table only increments at like certain levels, it'll take a long time for you to be rolling on any of the big stuff.
Cool, because I'm going to have to use my energy burst again if we come on to another encounter to make my damage decent, which puts me at Astra Fate, like 1/1. So doubles my Astra over my limit pretty much.
Yeah, it's just by flat number over. So 1 over is still just on the lowest table. So you won't have to roll anything crazy. It's
Am
not
I
until you
back?
get to like
You're
yes.
back.
Oh, good. That was weird. My internet just
Yeah.
decided it was going to stop working.
So is there a keypad for the shuttle bay doors, or do we have to drill through it?
There's no keypad on this side.
All right, let's drill through it then. Yep.
Do I have to roll a slavery roll to drill through the door?
You do not. You are able to drill through the door without too much trouble.
Good. Painfully drilling through the door.
Yes. Okay. I think I have my tech issues sorted out. So you enter into the shuttle bay. You see 2 of the mining shuttles in there. They are not flight shuttles. They have the magnetic capabilities to move along the tunnels. There are 2 in there. There are 5 missing, which tracks because they usually send out about 5 crews at a time. Or 5 shuttles.
Looks like we're the first of the crews.
The others
maybe we're
weren't
the
as
only
fortunate
one.
with their collapses. Who knows how many even lived?
Yeah, you saw what happened to 33.
There's got to be comms nearby at this shuttle bay, and he'll like look around to see if there's any panels or anything that he could hook into to try and raise an alarm or send communications or receive them.
Yeah, good idea. I'll follow him.
There are main panels nearby. You do not have access to the communications.
Yeah, but my friend has the pass.
I'll try that that key card I've got from the doctor. Fuck.
I'll try the drill. Just kidding.
I can try to hack it.
Oh
Probably our
man,
best
we're in
bet.
enough shit.
Yeah, but you want to die? Do you want to just suffocate here?
If the headquarters aren't even aware of what's happening yet, then sending a distress signal could be even good for us. Neil will say optimistically, not believing it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll say much buoyed by that.
I can. All I can do is try.
So who's trying this?
I am. I assume I'm the best with computers.
Roll investigation as you are looking at this comm panel.
Okay. 23.
It's the same weird signal. It seems to be receiving something.
It's the same signal that was on
Yeah,
the shuttle down below.
it's receiving something. It's on the frequency that the base uses, that the miners use. You don't recognize it.
Can I hack into the panel to try to figure out where it's coming from?
Not from here. You would have to go to the main communications array.
Where's that?
So now that you're in the main base, you have access to all the floors That would be up about 2 floors, 2 levels.
Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Look, guys, you see that? You see that signal? See that symbol there? Remember that? Do you recognize that? Sorry, helmets pressed together. Do you recognize that?
Yeah.
Uh,
From
so
that still.
you guys can turn on the force field to this shuttle bay area and repressurize it.
Oh, good. Thank God. We'll do that post haste then.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So that
once the
signal is
shield is
being
back up.
received at this station, but I can't trace it or do anything about it from here. We have to go to the main communications array if we want to do anything with that, which is about 2 levels up from here.
Can we take the shuttles there?
I
The
don't think
shuttles are
so.
only for the mining tunnels.
Yeah.
There are, however, there are 2 ships that are at the next to top level. They are used by Sept personnel. They're used to ferry people back and forth occasionally, but they exist.
So here's what I'm thinking. Neil will say. We start heading up. We check the communications, see if we can send out some sort of distress signal or trace whatever. And I'll kind of just gesture wildly at the screen with the strange symbol on it. That is. And then we get off of this stupid place. I don't care what happens or who finds out or what. We need to get out of here.
Or maybe I'm pretty tired, guys. Maybe we just we got air here. Maybe we just chill here and wait for them to come. I could really use a nap. Just putting out an alternative
Yeah,
choice.
I wanted to go with both. And so Bragg will say, why not both? Let's rest up here from our injuries and catch up some energy. Check our equipment before setting off when we're in a better state to get the fuck out of here. He'll say that part, nodding at.
Yeah, and you know
Govan.
what? Now that we're here and I can breathe again and I don't have the stupid helmet on, I just gotta go over here and.
We're on company time here, so the longer it takes them to deal with this, that's off our sentence. We could just stay here and rest for a little. We're safe,
Neil will
right?
Oh, I feel better.
Neil
How long
will
do you want
look
to rest?
very anxious at this proposition, but he'll kind of seeing the state of Jason in particular will be very begrudgingly agree that perhaps a short rest might be valuable.
A short rest.
No, it'll need to be a long one for any mechanical benefit, right?
I need a full sleep. I need at least 6 hours of sleep, my friend. I'm exhausted. Yeah. Yeah, I need
Do we
at
think
least
it's
6
possible that
hours.
Chrysalisks could get in here?
Did you say that out loud? What?
Oh, of course, we drilled the door open. Scratch that. Yeah, actually, this place isn't safe. We drilled the door open to get in. So, unfortunately, we have to go.
Well, wait. We can just weld something over that.
What in the hour it'd take us to get a scrounge and then weld up a new door? We could have been like an hour closer to the hub.
Oh well. God damn it.
Look, man, we're fucked too. I know. I'm sorry, but yeah, I think Govern's right on this one. Maybe we should just push on. If there is
Hey,
another
before
one
we
of those
do, hold
things
on a
that
second. I
must
almost
do with
forgot about
Astra,
this. I pulled that helmet out of my pack that we took off of Blakely. Let's see if there's anything on here. I almost forgot about it. Can I hook it up to this
Sure.
panel?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just to see if there's anything recorded on it. If there's any, what we get.
So, roll tech, I think. Make sure you can hook it up.
Okay.
You don't blow anything up.
16.
Yeah, that'll do it.
All right.
So you can hook into his helmet, and using the computer available at the kind of entry to the shuttle bay, at the kind of where the door is, you can hook it up to that console, and it'll start to read out his helmet information. He was not recording. There's no passive record for minors.
Yeah.
He was not recording. It does keep a log of the communiques in and out. You can see the communique from him to you guys that said they're about to start drilling. And then about 10 minutes later, there's a communique in. And it's that same signal. And it lasts until the helmet is powered off at about the same time Neil removed it.
Fuck. I'll show that to the guys. Something to do with this signal. It's driving people crazy.
I don't want to look at it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we should avoid that going forward. Well, pushing on then, yeah?
Yeah.
You sure you're up
Sooner
for
we
it?
get to the hub, sooner you can rest, man.
Am I sure I'm up for it? No, I'm sure I'm not, but I don't think I have a choice.
Then on we go.
And watch your step. I've yacked over there. Imagine what Astra Sickness Yak looks like. It'd be glowing all like yellow and blue and green and shit.
Like when munted people accidentally bite down on the glow sticks and they get the glow juice in their mouth. I reckon that's what it would look like, puking up
Prince,
glow.
I've never seen that, but that sounds
Dog.
awful.
Yeah, them just like Astra sickness, but worse.
So where are you guys headed? To the communication hub?
I think so, yeah. We're working our way
Because
that
we have
direction.
to go up past the second floor anyways to get up to the ships, right? So I figure we can make a stop there on the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Those ships aren't going to be there anyway, man.
Gotta
Hey.
try.
Here's an idea, though. Shouldn't there be people here?
Yeah.
So where are they?
They might have evacuated, like you said, and taken the ships. They might have cut their losses and fuck us.
I point at that communications monitor that has the symbol on it again. Or they could be hiding in the shadows just waiting to cave our skulls in. Best be on your best lookout. Yeah.
Right. Anyone who mumbles that awoken shit and he like taps his pistol, we blast them, right?
Yeah. And
Yep.
the mother and the sleeper. Those are the other words they used. Mother, sleeper, awoken.
So are you leaving the shuttle bay?
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
You press the button and the doors swoosh open. There's not silence. And at first it's almost reassuring to hear the hum. But it becomes much less reassuring. As you walk down the hallway, coming around the bend, the station is circular in pattern, with the fusion reactor at the center. You come to what ought to be a commissary. There must be 15 people. Some sit, some stand, some walk, unseeing, gently murmuring to themselves. They don't seem to notice you, take any interest in you. You can make out sleeper. Sleeper awakes. Mother is awoken.
Going back to hand gestures, I'm pointing back at the way we just came, saying, yeah, signaling that we should get the fuck out of here.
And what are these people milled about in our path to where we need to get to the communications array?
You would have to go through the commissary to get to either the stairs or the lift.
And they're in the commissary.
They are. They don't seem to notice you, at least not yet.
Oh, wait. Blakely, he didn't attack until we touched him, right?
He didn't notice us until we interacted with him.
Well, no, because I went up and checked him to make sure he was all right and everything, and he was okay. It wasn't until you tried to put him over your shoulder that he attacked you, remember?
Yeah.
Maybe we can slip by without getting their attention.
Should we do one at a time or all together?
One at a time to see if it works. Because if
I'll
it
go
fails, all
first.
of us are in there.
I go forward.
Bragg nods, but that's what he was thinking. Like the sickest should be the bait.
I was just thinking because I'm the stealthiest.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Oh, yeah, that part.
Yeah. So I will
Polished,
go,
pragmatic plan then. Let's do it.
and I plan to use my stealth as best I can to try to avoid contact, to try to avoid drawing attention to myself, etc.
Roll
Can I
stealth.
possibly aid him by saying, make like if they start to notice you, you know, like do as they do on Zeta 2, 3, 4, 5, and say those words over.
Well,
and
I
like, just
rolled a
act like them.
27.
Oh, good.
You go entirely unnoticed from one side to the other. The murmuring around you, it's almost a susurration. The sleeper awakes, the mother is awoken, the sleeper awakes. Almost more than a dozen people, all whispering. Not a single eye looks at you.
Once I get to the other side, I just look back and give the big thumbs up.
Right, on you go. Give me the thumbs up when you're over and I'll follow. Just nice and easy. Like Dane.
Yeah, Neil will have taken a nervous breath, close his eyes for a second, and kind of ready himself emotionally as best as he can, before he will begin to try to mimic as best he can what he just saw Jason do moments before.
Bragg's going to ready an action as well with his pistol aimed in the vicinity of his companion. In case, God forbids, that he does fail, that anything rushes him, I'll be ready to blast it.
I'm going to ready an action too in case shit does go down with those guys, that I can slink off up the stairs to get the hell out of here.
Oh God, that's a 5 on the die.
I'm not messing around with 15 of these fuckers.
A 6. 6 total.
6 total. Neil, you are nervous. It's so unsettling. You bump into a chair, and it makes a pretty loud noise. One person sort of turns and looks at you, and then looks away. You cross unmolested.
I turn around from the stairs and in shock and go, "Oh, okay," and greet my companion.
Yeah, his head will hang in like shame and embarrassment, but relief will still be on his face. A mixture
Hey,
of near
don't worry,
death, but
don't worry about it. You made it.
to like let his breath out that he had been holding the whole time, and just like nod sheepishly, and then kind of turn to look back, readying himself in the manner that he had seen the others do, awaiting his friend.
Seeing that sound's not an issue, I'm going to do a perception check instead of a stealth check to make my way through, to not knock or bump into anything.
Absolutely.
16 all up.
Yeah, you move across smoothly, easily, weaving your way in between the tables, the chairs, and the person who crosses your path, not 10 feet in front of you. Never looks.
Yeah, and I'll have my helmet thing on so that I can't hear them talk craziness at me. Which I guess would be no less disturbing. Just like while heaps of zombies walk around. But I'll push through them back to where my companions are at the edge of the commissary.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Do you take the lift or the stairs up?
Stairs.
Yeah.
In emergency situations, you always take the stairs. You don't trust the lifts. You know.
You go up the stairwell. It seems quiet. It's strange. With as many people are on this base, it's never quiet. There's always someone doing something. Now, there is still the hum of all the systems. The air recyclers. You're pretty sure you can still feel the fusion reactor. The main drill is still active, as it almost always is. But why aren't the people doing what they ought to?
I'll tell you why. Because they're all crazy. They're all sleeper zombies or something. That's why. Man, I've had too much quiet on this job today.
Two floors up, you come to another hallway. There's 3 people in it, kind of milling about. That's to the right. And to the left, you can see just the edge of a tentacle and a multi-jointed leg.
Fuck.
One of these people begins to move down the hallway from your right to your left, crossing 3 feet in front of you, down the hallway towards where the chrysalis is. You watch. The person doesn't seem to see it. They're 10 feet away. 8. 5. And they move past. You hear their footsteps falling. And then slowly fading.
I don't want to go in there, man. We can just sleep in the stairway. What do you think, guys? Keep the doors closed.
Maybe. My gut tells me the longer we're here, down here, the worse it's going to get. Glint goes up, shit goes downhill.
I can't. How are we gonna get past that thing?
He taps the repeater pistol you've got. By other way, do you mean, Taylor, like we can go via two ways to the same place, being the communications array?
Mm-hmm.
It's a circle.
Because it's a circular base, so you can go left or right, and you'll come around eventually to the same location. Left would be a
Yeah.
little faster.
No, I'm okay with taking the long way around. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's do it. Worst comes to
Better
worst,
than
we come back
dying, yeah.
and kill that thing.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with another one of those things. And if it comes down to it, another wrestling match, it's one of your turns, okay?
It is eerie as you walk through the base, walking around this third level. There are people here. They don't notice you. They don't do anything except walk and whisper, mutter to themselves. You can come around to the communication hub, and you see people you recognize. Not miners, obviously. There aren't any of them up here, not on this level. It's the higher-ups. They're here in the communication hub. There's someone in a lab coat. Looks like maybe a security chief, too. Varric, yes, that's his name. And they're just like the others.
Well,
Well, I say we go past these guys. Worst case, and they attack us. We'll get to kill the prison wardens before we go, right?
right.
And if we have to kill them, they might have a pass on them too. Look,
Cock my pistol. All right, let's go.
before I got nabbed by Alzareen in the drift market, I used to fly interplanetary smuggle. I could astro navigate us out of this rock. So if they caught us, well, we wouldn't be sent back to the asteroids to mine. But I'm liking the idea of getting the fuck off here more and more. And the hell with the consequences.
If this is what being in the mines is like, I'll take the other consequences with what's going on here.
Right.
If the ships are still there and you can get us out, we get out.
Cool. Seeing Jay's load his weapon, I'm going to go to my one that I rolled the 2 natural ones on in that earlier encounter and like check it over and make sure it's ready before going on.
Yeah, give me maybe a tech roll to see if you can set it back to rights.
Nat 20. What a waste.
Oh.
What a waste of a nat 20.
It is in perfect working order.
Great.
You see exactly what went wrong, and you readjust a filament, and there it goes.
Excellent. I'll go first, since it's my turn to wrestle.
What are you doing? Where are you going?
Pushing on through the room that has the directors and the others.
Yeah, this is the communication hub. This is it.
Oh, there. Okay, sorry, I
Mhm.
misunderstood. Sorry. In
Oh,
that
there
case,
it
we'll
is.
go up. I'll go up to the communications array and see if I can try and find a visual map to where there might be any ships or information pertaining to that, and see if I can secondarily notice any other communications that are going on within the asteroid.
So the first thing you notice is once you get up to this console panel, you notice there's blood on it. Looking around, the woman in the lab coat, her right arm appears badly injured.
We tell in what way it looks injured? Like, is it cut? Is it shot? Is it
It looks like
smashed?
scratch marks, and maybe she has a couple broken fingers.
What do you
And for the
deduce
time
from
being,
that?
I don't know. Could be those crystallis things have blades. Maybe I can cut her.
Or one of these other maniacs. Maybe they bumped into each other in their crazed shambling.
Could be.
Yeah, he'll shrug, giving her like not too much sympathy, and go back to the panel and try and locate the ship and locate any other communications that might be going on.
Okay, roll tech.
Yeah, and Neil will gladly give you a hand with that. He'd want this
That's
done as
good.
quickly as he can.
I can't find anything about the ships. I got a 9, but for the other one, a 12 tech check to find any other if there are any other communications on Zeta.
So on Zeta 254, you're receiving this strange thing, whatever frequency that the base uses for these kind of mid-range communications across the asteroid. This signal is on it.
Is it, if I were to like look at the code of the signal, would it be the same as the crazed jumble of stuff that we saw from the malfunction displays?
It's just
Oh,
some
I'll
sort of
switch it off
gibberish.
then. Yeah, I won't look at
Yeah.
that. Yeah, there's signals jamming this place. That same crap we saw earlier, but no other hubbub that I can hear. He'll say.
Jason, you said you have a passive perception of 16, right?
That's correct, yes.
You notice that one person seems to be working on a communications array at another panel.
Really?
Eyes glazed over, hasn't looked at you, but doing something.
I will try to stealthily move over to see what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, it's mundane. He's not paying you any attention.
Okay.
Roll your tech and see if you can figure out what he's doing.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. That would be 13. Shh, stop it, cat. 13, sorry.
It's something with the primary communications array, the one that they use to contact Tharkestra. Tharkestra is the moon where Sept Alzareen is based.
Right.
It's a different frequency, different mechanics than the mid-range communiques here on the planet. But he's doing something with that.
Whatever it is, it can't be good. So I'll look over to where Braga is, and I'll point at this guy who's like messing with the communications array, and I'll hold up my kind of hammer in a threatening, like menacing manner, and I'll draw my finger across my neck.
Steel will just nod and ready himself.
Yeah, I'll nod and crouch down slowly.
All right, I'm gonna sneak attack this son of a bitch.
He's unaware of you.
Okay. I don't know even how that works. Do I get advantage or something like that for the attack, or
Yeah.
is it automatically hit? I don't know.
Yeah,
You roll with advantage, yeah.
You roll with advantage, and if it hits, I believe it's a crit.
Okay, so
No, that's assassin.
No,
No,
that's
that it
assassinate.
takes certain abilities for that to happen, yeah.
right. Okay, I got a 16.
Disadvantage.
16 will hit.
Okay, so I get 2d6 for my sneak attack plus this. Okay, 7, 13 plus 4 is 17. Oh, but minus my strength modifier. So 16.
Damage.
16 damage, yeah.
There's a dull thud and a crunch as you heave your hammer into this scientist's skull. He falls to the ground, doesn't make a single noise. There's a shift in the energy of the room, and eyes turn towards you, Jason.
Fuck. I will look for some place to hide.
Sure, you can try and drop under a console or something.
Yeah.
Roll stealth.
Yeah, I've got really good stealth. That's why I'm trying to look for, like, if I could get to a cabinet or something, or even with that poor roll, it's an 18.
You felt the shift happening, and you duck out of sight. The eyes scan the room. They rest briefly on Neil. No, not him. They let rest briefly on Braig. And then they unfocus, and the muttering continues.
Can I go up to the caved-in headed corpse of that communications officer and try and fumble in his pocket for some kind of card or access or key?
You certainly can. This is actually another person in a lab coat. It's a scientist. It is not a communications officer. If it was, whatever they were trying to do probably would have been done already. You find in their pockets a data pad, an ID, a metal key.
Cool. Retrieving any of that, can I get any further success on the avenue of finding or locating where either of those ships are and trying to get to it?
Yes. If you turn your attention back to the main panels, you can pull up the logs for the ships and see that one is prepped. The bay door is open to space. The force field is active, so it is still pressurized. Has not left.
He probably looks at it like it's a beautiful woman, just like, oh, and he'll like say heaps of like cool terms about it, like pilot nerds would get. Yep, this is perfect. This is our ride out of here, gentlemen. He'll say, like slapping the console.
Whew. Okay, good. Yes. We should go. We should go now.
Okay, you guys
Okay,
lead the way and I'll
right.
follow you.
He'll take a still of those directions on his own overlay with his helmet and then lead on.
I will try to stealthily follow them so I don't maybe get seen along the way. I don't know if I even noticed the data pad before I hid in the cabinet.
Oh, I grabbed that stuff up so we can check it out when we get to the bay.
It's 6 floors up to get to the bay. You have to pass quarters. You have to pass an armory. You have to go up past offices. And eventually, you can reach the bay. Do you do anything on your way up?
I think about flight 4 or 5 of the steps up of the slog up. Bragg is talking about like some dive bar on some satellite moon that he wants to go to, and some like alien ex-girlfriend that he wants to like make good with, and I don't know, just like getting giddy from like exhaustion and delirium and the severe anxiety of attempting a prison break, essentially. So yeah, it's probably like the nervous silence breaks towards the end when he starts nattering on about this stuff. But I don't think he'd be incessant. But he would mention it.
Yeah, Neil would just go on like encouraging, just like, oh yeah, to tell me more about that place, and just like literally just anything that he can do to like kill the deadly silence that hangs and like distract their minds long enough to get to the ship.
I might just say, hey, can I have a look at that data pad?
Yeah, yeah. And he'll like grab it out of the suit and hand it over while they climb.
It's unlocked, and there's a blood smear across it.
Does it have that freaky symbol on it?
It does not.
Good, okay, then I'll check it out. Does it say who it belongs to?
You don't see the owner information
Okay.
because there's a screen open.
Oh, I've got that ID card that I swiped from it
Screen's
with all that
open on.
gear, so I'll hand it over to you as well.
What screen's it on?
It's on a log entry, dated earlier this day.
I'll read it out loud.
Queen awoken from dormant state at 0750 hours. Significant seismic activity. Lost contact with all mining teams simultaneously. Suspect comms radios used to transmit control signal. Only essential personnel with frequency modulators remained unaffected. Neela is dead. Varric was killed and overwhelmed by hypnotized personnel attempting to initiate Omega Protocol. We know they will attempt to override the communiques to transmit the signal to Tharkestra. I've prepared a shuttle for emergency evacuation. I must get the key from Varric's body and initiate Omega Protocol.
Good. Fuck Tharkestra, he'll say and spit. And Alzareen, let him become Stardust, and then he'll probably put a quicken in his step as he leaps another flight.
Well, do you think that's what your man was doing before I caved his skull in?
Yeah, by the sound of it. I mean, what else?
Mm-hmm. So maybe we've already interrupted it.
Well, we've just stopped it from being transmitted more than it already has.
Right. What do you think? What is it called? Protocol Omega or whatever?
Yeah, Omega Protocol.
What's
Would
up?
Omega have the same relevance for these people as for us, like i.e. end, Alpha, Omega, beginning and end?
Yes.
And I'd say that.
You you would
Right.
suspect Omega Protocol is last resort. It's probably a self-destruct.
Right. Yeah, we don't want it self-destructing while we're on it.
Yeah, and it said something about that prepared shuttle. It was probably the ship they're located from comms, but they didn't make it for some reason.
Maybe we won't either.
Yeah, I think it was that damn signal. If we see a hint of it, don't look, don't listen.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I say we leave the problems for the Alzareen scientists to solve. We gotta get out.
Yep. All right, I'm
Whatever's
with you.
happening to them, I don't want anything to do with it.
I'm with you.
Three and a half flights of stairs later, you reach the shuttle level with the spaceships. Just as you'd found earlier, Brig, all the information was correct. One ship is there, prepped for departure. The shuttle bay doors open, force fields activated. It just needs someone to pilot it out.
Let's go. Said you could
Braig
fly.
will stop, and he'll flash back to maybe a decade or two ago before he got nabbed in the drift market when like a deal felt too good to be true, and he went in thinking of like the out, but got trapped by it, and it turned out to be dirty, and that's how it led to ending him being put in here. And so he puts a hand on your shoulder, and he's like, "Wait, that's so easy." And he looks around like too paranoid in his old criminal ways to be like, "Oh, yep, we just get on this ship with the doors open, ready to rock and roll." You don't think that signal like fucked up the uppers to have this thing take the message out, and he'll point towards the enticing ship beyond.
Well, if we're not gonna fly it out, then what are we gonna do? Do you have a backup?
You're right. And he looks back over his shoulder, imagining but not seeing some of those crazed mumblers. Yeah. And he'll like, yeah, step in with his companions and go through the doors.
I'm right behind you, buddy. Pistol out, ready just in case. Expecting the worst.
What do you do when you're on the ship?
Well, how big is it? It's a shuttle, right? Essentially.
It,
Slightly bigger than a shuttle.
it can hold up to 15 people if it's at full capacity.
I think we should probably clear it first just to make sure there's nobody else aboard.
Good call. Yeah. I was foolishly going to go straight to the cockpit, and that's how I would have got shot in the back of the head in the epilogue. So I'll fall in with my companions wanting to do a security sweep. That's a capital idea.
Yeah, call me paranoid, but given the way things have been going so
Call
far.
me paranoid too. I think we're all paranoid. If anything, we're not paranoid enough.
Right. So yeah, I want to sweep the ship, make sure there's nobody else on here. None of these crazy scientists or executives, etc.
There's one body.
Who is it? Any idea on him?
No.
Is he dead? Dead?
She is dead, dead.
She is dead. Dead. All right.
She was, looked like some sort of a mechanist. She had several augmentations, one of which was a receiver implant. You can see that her fingers are bloody, and it looks like she was trying to claw it out of her head before she died.
It's that damn signal. All right. Well, here, Neil, you take one arm, I'll take the other. Let's toss her off.
Wait,
Oh,
don't
whoa,
touch
wait! Don't touch her.
Wait, why?
Let's say,
because paranoid.
yeah. And he'll like hold his hands out, and there's gonna be like this yellow flash as I'm going to use Astra to like push her out of the ship instead. We don't have to make physical contact.
Yeah, sure. Do you need to roll for it?
I'll just grab shift.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to roll for the Astro Bleed, right?
So base level grab shift is a 0 cost.
Oh,
So I'm just gonna
nice.
use it at the base
Is it?
level.
Shit, I have it too. I didn't realize it was 0 cost. Man.
The body outside of the shuttle, and now it seems empty. Except for you three.
Yeah. Well. All right. Let's close this hatch, seal it.
Yeah, Neil will just rub his hands together eagerly, kind of his breathing heightening at the anticipation of getting off of this thing. Yeah, come on, let's go.
Yeah, Bragg will like go up to the cockpit, take a seat in the pilot's chair, and try and get everything going and get out of here.
Where are you setting the navigation? Are you
Drift market.
sending any communications?
My vote's no, but like I would definitely consult with the others before just taking that avenue. Like the ships, I'll say the ship's comms seem operational. We can send communique. What do you guys think?
Well,
I'll
communications go both
Yeah.
ways, just remember.
Yeah, I'm inclined not to,
Yeah,
but what do you think?
my philosophy is if it goes through, it'll either beam them that weird signal and we have problems, or it goes through just fine. Alzareen knows where we are. They come grab us. Both of those don't sound great to me.
I say we coordinate to the drift market, scrub this ship clean, and then sell it. Split what's left 3 ways, and we don't speak about the Zeta anymore.
All three of you roll intelligence checks for me.
Ugh.
Ooh,
10.
just an intelligence check or an intelligence save?
Check.
Check. What's my intelligence modifier? 20.
Is 18.
18 plus 2.
Jason and Neil, you both have the thought that there's probably some sort of a tracker on this ship.
Oh, yeah. I might be able to jam that or remove it.
Oh yeah, good idea. I'm a criminal too from my background, so even
I'm
without
not a criminal, I'm just a tech, but yeah.
Between the three of you, you can find it and remove it and leave it sitting in the shuttle bay.
Yep.
Or better still, we could attach it to that chick's corpse and hurl her out onto the docks into space, so it like leads them off to who knows where. Were
I was
they
just
to
gonna
track
say,
it?
or what we could do is just like throw it against the wall and smash it, so they'll at least see that the tracker died, and maybe they'll come investigate it.
Oh.
It'll tip them off, so we don't have to worry about them not being able to look into it.
Mm-hmm.
Good call.
Yeah, so I'll like take the tracker and like intentionally like smash it, just hurl it against the wall outside of the ship, so that it breaks, hoping that their loss of tracker will have them come check it out, but we'll be long gone, ideally before then.
All right.
Brig, you sit down in the pilot's seat. You put in the coordinates for the drift market.
Is there a co-pilot seat?
There is.
I'll sit there.
There's
I can
also a
fly. Excellent.
small med bay.
I can fly too, so.
Oh, are you? My astrogation is 3. What's yours?
Oh, astrogation +2.
Okay. Yeah, if you can co-pilot me, I can make a check with advantage and not fly us into
Yep, I've
an
got
asteroid field.
I've got proficiency with void ships and vehicles.
Cool, same.
This is a void ship.
All right.
Make me that astrogation roll.
Okay. Oh, natural 1 and then a 19, so 22. Lucky for the co-pilot.
You've rolled a lot of
I
ones
left like
today.
a brake on or something, and I was about to take off. He's like, "Oh, I was like, oh, yeah!" Release the anchor.
With Jason co-piloting for you, Brig, you take the ship out into space and you disappear. This nice shiny vessel will show up in the drift market in a couple days. You know a guy. They'll help you scrub it down. Alzareen might find parts of it showing up on the black market, but they'll never find the whole thing. And it's a long time before you hear about Zeta 254 again.
Still too soon.
Yeah, that's the way we all like it.
Nice.
And you
Anytime
guys,
hearing about that place again is too soon.
and you guys have survived.
Whew. Man, well, I guess this is going to be the beginning of a life of crime for me.
Yeah.
Ironically, I wasn't a criminal coming into this, but it looks like I am coming out.
Here now.
You're
Yeah, I'm
institutionalized, mate.
gonna have to
Better
change my
than being a
name.
zombie.
Yeah, that's true. Whew.
All right.
Sorry for just brutally ignoring all of your plot hooks, but that's what happens when you put us in survival mode.
Survival, yeah, it was good though.
I figured. I mean, I'm aware that Nico is the kind to cut the Gordian knot. But thanks for watching if you watched live or after the fact, and maybe we'll do some more Harbinger later.
Awesome. Thanks for running.
Cheers, thank you. That was great.